Home opener coverage is. Receive a $1,600 rebate and 16-year warranty on a new HVAC system at SwissAirSTL.com.
Let's get nasty on an opening day for the Cardinals. We're at Ballpark Village inside the Budweiser Brewhouse. Kerry Davis, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. Appreciate everybody tuned in, although most of you, let's be honest, you're here. You're at the ballpark. You're at Ballpark Village. You're getting your seats ready already. You're waiting for the festivities to begin at Busch Stadium. I wanted to start with this. I realize there's a lot of news that is coming out over the last hour or so related to the Cardinals, whether it's some Sonny Gray news, Matt Carpenter to the IL. But I actually wanted to start today, guys, just talking about the feel, the vibe, the environment here. Because this, to me, and I know, Carey, you've been a part of, as a player, as a coach, many different traditions around sports. Marsh, same deal. We all, you guys grew up here. I've been here now for, 12, almost 15 years. I've been in other spots, other cities, other environments. This, to me, is the best vibe and the best tradition in sports.
I agree. I think, my first time ever going to opening day was last year, and it was an experience for me. Now, we did the opening drive, so we were here from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. It was no one here. It's kind of quiet, right? It was easy to hear one another. But this environment always is a special place. Opening day in St. Louis, you get the Clydesdales, you get the former players coming out in the cars and the trucks and the Corvettes. You have the red jackets. It's such a great experience. And I think, honestly, and I'm not just saying this as a homer, I think most people would agree, probably the best opening day experience in Major League Baseball. I don't think anyone else does it as well.
Yeah.
We're fortunate to be able to partake in it from across the street, and be here right now. It's just going to be a great day.
Well, that's what's so cool about this is that we're not even in the ballpark,
right,
but we still feel the atmosphere that is surrounding Busch Stadium, and that's what makes Ballpark Village so great is that you can still go downtown, not be at the stadium, but still feel like you're in the stadium watching the game. You're a part of it, and this atmosphere is incredible. Like, we've been, at least me personally, we've been here doing this for 2 years. This is insane in the best way possible. I love coming down to the ballpark and just everybody's having a great time. And we're excited about Cardinals baseball. We're putting everything from last year behind. It doesn't matter. This team could be absolutely terrible. But people are going to show up because they love baseball in this town, and that's what makes it so special.
I still remember I was producing this show the year that my first experience with the Cardinals home opener, and it was Randy Carricker, it was DeMarco Farr, and our good buddy Chris Duncan. I'm wearing
the CD.
Yeah, the CD16. I got Dunk with me today.
Yeah.
But that was my first experience, and it was like nothing that I'd ever seen before. Yeah. The sea of red, the sea of people, the energy was absolutely palpable. It was incredible, and it reminded me a lot of a college football tailgate. And Carey, I know you've been a part of some. I know you've also been in the locker room preparing for them. But you know what it feels like, Marsh. I know you've been to a college football tailgate, like a big college football tailgate. That's what this feels like, and it is just it is never disappointed. Every time, it doesn't matter what part of the area we are in the city. Now we're steps away from Busch Stadium. But it doesn't matter where you are in the city. You feel it. You feel the energy, and I think it's remarkable. I think it's one of the most remarkable things in all sports, not just baseball.
And I think that's why St. Louis has the expectation to win championships. They want to win championships. Like, the fans are going to show up. They expect greatness. We have seen, some of the best players to play the game of baseball. We've seen some of the best teams to play the game of baseball, and they have a hunger for that. So when you see Cardinal fans upset or passionate about losing seasons, losing 91 games, or maybe not getting the pitchers that you wanted in the offseason. It's based off of people expecting to win and wanting to win. Like you said, college environment, college atmosphere. They're going to show up, show out, and they want to see wins. They want to see your team perform the best and the best players play the best way that they can.
I think the only opening day that even looks remotely close to this is Cincinnati, just because of the historic aspect of their team. And you see videos of all those people who are in the streets, and then that's about, that lasts for about a day.
I was going to say, then the 12 fans show up to the stadium and they have a great time.
Exactly.
This year might be a little different.
This is a little different, but this is great. Like, everyone knows I'm not going into work today.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Cardinals game.
Right.
Just met a young man who was out of school today. Said he got good
He's
grades.
sick.
Yeah,
He's sick.
You know what? I'm out today. Love it.
I think we're going to probably turn a lot of people in here when it comes to their bosses and such. So.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I bet the
Although
bosses are here
They
here
do.
too. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
They know.
Yeah. So this is incredible. We're at Ballpark Village. We're inside the brew house. We're up on the stage. We've been here the last, last 2 or 3 years now. We've been broadcasting here. Jamie and I one time broadcasted out in the beer garden.
Oh,
and
up top?
It was rain. No, down low. It was raining. It was outside. Doty was there. Our engineer was there. I always feel bad for Doty on these days like this because he's got to set everything up. But it started to rain, and Doty's like scrambling to get all the equipment back in underneath the little bar area there. And I think Jamie and I did the final hour of the show standing up, maybe with a cocktail or two in our hands. But this is a remarkable day, and I know that a lot of Cardinals fans. Marsh, you kind of said it perfectly. No matter what the Cardinals have done on the road this year, or certainly what they did a year ago, you kind of throw it all out, because when you're down here and first pitch is still an hour or two away, you feel as though that your team is invincible again. That's what a day like this brings. And the Cardinals typically, last year notwithstanding, they're usually in it.
Right.
In it, we joke about in it being NL Central champs, in it for a wild card. We could be facetious and joke around, but not today. Not tonight. Today we talk good baseball.
Indeed.
Our opening day broadcast is brought to you by Budweiser, Holiday World, and Splash and Safari, Swiss Air Heating and Cooling. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. I don't know if she can hear me right now, but Andrea, my wife's friend, is over to our left, and I know she's celebrating a birthday. So
happy birthday, Andrea.
Happy birthday, Andrea. There you go.
Yeah.
What are you 28 again?
Yeah.
28 again. There we go. Yeah, you look great. So, yeah. She's celebrating her birthday was a couple days ago, but she's celebrating her birthday today. So, a lot of fun. I know a lot of people are celebrating today, too. Happy birthday to Katie Wu as well.
Katie Wu, happy birthday.
She's celebrating today from the Athletics.
We love Aries. Well, you're not an Aries, are you? Did you miss the
I'm
cut?
a Pisces.
He's a March.
I'm
though.
a Pisces.
You're still March.
I'm still March,
Okay.
though.
My wife's a Pisces. Chris is a Pisces. So
It's a good.
she's February.
What is it called? Astrology.
Sign.
A good sign.
Good
It's
sign.
a good sign. You know what? I have a good feeling that the Cardinals are going to pull out a W.
Did you have a
today.
vision?
No.
Ah,
no.
shoot.
Those usually turn ugly.
Oh,
Yeah, no
So-
vision
I didn't know
today.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're 0 for 1 on that. That doesn't mean we can't be 1 for 2. So
Very
we'll see how
true.
things play out the rest of the year, but it has to start right now. Right today.
Today.
All right, so we're going to get into some of the news impacting the Cardinals. The Cardinals lineup looks much different today than it has in recent past. Carey is fired
Hey,
up.
listen to the fast lane.
Marsh is fired
Good
up.
job.
At least for one spot in the lineup. So we'll talk about that, but we also got to get into some of the injury news as well. That's all next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
1 ESPN.
This is a very talented guy. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's looking forward to getting back here. I think he'll start on Tuesday in Memphis. And then ultimately, if that goes well, he'll return to our rotation.
It depends who you ask, I guess. Like I said, I don't know. I would like to pitch here, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes. There's probably a lot going on today for everybody, but I feel great. I mean, if it's up to me, I would personally like to pitch here, but we'll sit down today, tomorrow, Saturday, probably when everything kind of slows down around here and kind of get through it, I guess.
Take it.
So that was two different takes, I guess you would say. One was from John Mozeliak, who was on the opening drive here on 101 ESPN earlier today. The second voice you heard was Sonny Gray, and that audio courtesy of Bally Sports Midwest. So I don't know what you guys heard, but I heard conflicting thoughts about when Sonny Gray's going to return. If you listen to Sonny Gray, it sounds as though that, I mean, he flat out said he'd like to pitch here, meaning he'd like to pitch this homestand.
Right.
Where Mo is almost kind of tempered in his statement. I'm sure from the team standpoint, after investing, what was it, $75 million into Sonny Gray?
Roughly.
That they're going to take it slow, knowing that they have a full season.
Right.
They have the big picture in mind. Sonny Gray wants to go. He's a competitor.
Right.
He signed that deal because he wanted to be a difference maker here in St. Louis, Carey. Yeah. So I could see conflicting reports from the standpoint of what both sides want.
Well, as a player, and a player that signed a contract to that magnitude, you want to go out and show the people in your new city who you are and what you can do. And so he's fired up. He's ready to roll. And Mo is probably saying, you know what, let's slow it down a little bit, temper the expectations, as you said, and let's get you some opportunities in Memphis so we can really make sure you're all the way healed before we throw you on the mound in St. Louis. And as a player, and sometimes as a player, you do need that person to kind of pull you back. Mike T used to always say, I'd rather say whoa than sick 'em.
Yeah.
So, and this is a situation where he's saying whoa, and because Sonny Gray is ready to go sick 'em.
Yeah, I think this is a difficult situation to be in because I would think fans would want Sonny Gray and side on Sonny Gray just because, well, not a lot of fans are huge fans of Mo in particular.
Now, what do you mean by that, Mark?
Well,
Really?
Anthony, I don't think you have read our text line as of late, but
like any
actually,
day,
it's positive every day.
I mean, maybe like 10 minutes ago,
Mo.
the 6-1 Hate was chiming in. He'll be watching today's game. Not here, of course. He said he would not be here today. But I agree with what you're saying, Carey. Like, you do need someone to sort of be like, whoa, hey, let's take a step back for a second. We need you for 160, well, not 162 because they've already played. Sure.
32.
30.
Yeah,
30
at this
for
point.
an X amount of starts. And can we afford to miss you because you wanted to start a little bit early?
Right.
Me personally, I think I would side on Mo's perspective here. But I completely understand where Sonny Gray is, that competitor in him. He wants to go out and pitch.
Yeah. I would say that Sonny is probably saying if I'm pitching in Memphis or I'm pitching elsewhere, what is the difference?
Yeah.
Pitching is pitching. And if you're going to be pitching, he wants to be pitching with the big league club. He wants to play. He wants to do his job that he was hired to do. And I do understand it. And I think, you know, the pitching staff has pitched pretty well the last couple of days. And he's seen that. He's competitive. He wants to be a part of it. He wants to add to that. And he wants to make sure that he can get out there and do the job that he was asked to do.
I do wonder, Carey, the way you put that, it does remind me, and I wonder if this is in the back of the Cardinals' heads too. It reminds me of Jack Flaherty. Do you remember when he basically said, he goes, whether I'm pitching in Memphis or now I've got X amount of bullets.
Right.
I want to throw them at the big league level.
Correct.
I don't want to throw them in Memphis. And I sided with Jack Flaherty. That logic made sense to me. The Cardinals wanted him to throw at least one more outing in Memphis before activating him and then bring him up to St. Louis. And he was not sharp when he came back. So I'm not saying that Sonny Gray and Jack Flaherty, the comparables are the same. Different pitchers, different injury, all that. But from the Cardinals' perspective, maybe they do want to slow play this a little bit until they make sure 100% that he's ready to toe the rubber.
Well, and from a velo standpoint, a control standpoint, that was something that Jack Flaherty struggled with. It seemed like he would walk the bases loaded, and we saw that last season.
Yeah.
But AAA to the big leagues, it's completely different. So if you're trying to punch a guy out with a fastball that, you're trying to rev it up a little bit more than you probably should at that point in time, perhaps you injure yourself again, or, with his particular situation, it's his hamstring. So, pushing off the rubber, trying to get that a little bit more oomph on your fastball or whatever it is, doing that at the AAA level, you don't nearly have to give as much because those batters aren't as good as the majors.
Right.
So I see both. I wouldn't have a problem if he came up and pitched right away with the big club, or if he went down to Memphis and had a start. I'm kind of indifferent on the situation. I just want him to stay healthy.
Yeah. So Sonny Gray, Derek Gould reposted this last night at some point. Sonny Gray threw 54 pitches, started 3 innings, so he got the 4 ups or warm-ups. That was his target, and had some plays in the field covering first base. Came out of it feeling good, on his way to attend festivities in St. Louis. Memphis next start. That was what Derek Gould reposted or tweeted out last night. Other news involving the Cardinals is that Matt Carpenter was placed on the 10-day IL with a right oblique strain. Pedro Pajis was recalled from AAA Memphis. That also impacts the news with today's lineup, because as you remember yesterday when we were talking about it, now you've seen it, you were watching the game or you saw the highlights. Wilson Contreras was hit with a pitch yesterday in his wrist. Brendan Donovan was also hit with a pitch. Here's your lineup today against the Marlins as they open up their home schedule. Victor Scott leading off. So I'll pause right now because Carey, Carey and Marsh have been talking about Victor Scott
Let those guys drive you in.
Starting in center and hitting leadoff. So you're fired up about it.
I'm excited.
There you go.
All right, I'm excited.
Victor Scott leading off. He's playing center field. Paul Goldschmidt at first. He's hitting second. Nolan Arenado doesn't work as well with a mic strapped to my head. Nolan Arenado is hitting third, so he was moved up a spot. Playing third, of course. Ivan Herrera is the cleanup hitter today. He's behind the plate. What do you guys think of that?
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I thought he would be a little bit lower, maybe put Nolan Gorman there, but he's not been hitting particularly well. Jordan Walker still, they haven't found their stroke yet. I don't know what, maybe the only thing I can think of is maybe that's where Wilson Contreras is going to bat when he comes back. I don't know. Sometimes I think they're still trying to figure out the best lineup for this team right now, and putting people in different places and just trying things and figuring out who does what well in what slot. So I think that's where they are right now. But I was a little bit surprised about him batting cleanup today.
I'm fine with moving guys around for now. Eventually, I would love to see them settle in on a lineup outside of certain spots. I mean, we've all had the opinion of just play your guys,
right?
Play your horses and let's roll. Let's let the chips fall where they may. But for now, especially when you're dealing with injuries, and this team is very banged up at the moment.
Yeah.
Donovan out of the lineup today. Contreras out of the lineup today. Lars Nootbaar on the IL. Now Matt Carpenter on the IL. Tommy Edman, we have no idea when he's going to return.
No clue.
This is a banged-up team.
I think with Ivan Herrera, he went 2 for 4 yesterday. Nolan Gorman's not hitting well. You're trying to get Nolan Arenado. You're trying to get Nolan Arenado to swing the bat like he used to, right?
Sure.
And he needs to see good pitches and not flailing out and half swinging. And I think right now, Ivan Herrera gives you a better opportunity to give him protection than what Nolan Gorman's providing you right now. So it makes total sense for me.
The other lineup, the rest of the lineup, I should say, Nolan Gorman, he's hitting fifth. He's playing second base. Jordan Walker's in right field hitting sixth. Alec Burleson is your DH. He's hitting seventh. Mason Wynn is your shortstop hitting eighth. And our guy, Super Bad. Our guy, Super Bad, is in left field hitting ninth.
I got a question because
Michael Ciani.
It felt like we had, in the beginning, a lot of outfielders. And now, again, much like last year, we're losing guys in the outfield left and right.
Tommy Edman out. Brendan Donovan out. Lars Nootbaar out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dylan Carlson out.
Yeah.
There's another guy I forgot to mention early on. I mean, Dylan Carlson wasn't projected to start if Tommy Edman was hurt, but he was going to be at least your fourth outfielder.
Right.
He's out. Banged up team right now. The other thing, too, We'll kind of wrap up this segment on this. The other thing about having Ivan Herrera as your cleanup hitter, Ryan Weathers is on the mound for Miami. He's 0-1. He's only got the one start, okay? So we don't have to dive too deeply into this. But he's 0-1. He's got a 6.75 ERA. He is somebody that throws about 50, at least he did a year ago, 56% four-seamers. I mean, he is straight four-seamer. He's got a changeup, and he's got a sweeper. But, I mean, most of the time he's throwing that four-seamer. If you're a young hitter, that you want to see mostly four-seamers. So this is somebody that doesn't have 6 pitches.
Right.
You know, he's not a young guy just like a Josiah Gray that's got 6-7 pitches that he's mixing it up constantly. 30% here, 25% here, 17. Weathers is going to be straight fastball for most of the day. So having Ivan Herrera in your cleanup spot, he's got more than enough pop. If he catches a four-seamer, he could go.
Yeah, if he's swinging the bat like he did this offseason, man, I mean, you have something that it's like an extra added weapon from the catcher position, and just in your lineup in general. And I'm excited about all of these young players. We're seeing a lot of ups and downs from the young guys like Herrera, 2 for 4. He's looking pretty good so far this season. Jordan Walker, on the other hand, he's not looking that great. Yeah. Victor Scott, not hitting all that well, but when he's getting on base, he's scoring runs. He's making something happen. Mason Wynn, when he's in the lineup, he's doing a fantastic job, and he's providing really great defense. So these young players give me a lot of confidence that this team will be better this year and will be much better in the future. So I'm excited to see what Ivan Herrera can do in that cleanup spot.
So we have beat the streak in home run derby in about 15 minutes. We didn't play the lineup game, of course, because the lineup came out early. We've been robbed of playing the lineup game early
did
on.
BK and Ferrario do it again?
I'm sure they did.
No, they actually did not.
Good for them.
They did not.
They learned their lesson.
They did learn their lesson.
Proud of them.
I think they can do the lineup game.
Can they use the sounders?
No.
Okay.
Well, they have been
have to
using
use the old sound.
Yeah, they're using the old
How about-
sounders.
how about
Although
T-Bones?
I think I'd rather them just use the new sounders to
Really?
keep things. Yeah. I mean,
Now.
But not the first
fir-
day.
Yeah,
not the first day, but now they can.
They unwrapped your gift the
They
first
did.
day.
Right in front of you.
I mean, it was
They did.
Christmas.
And
they got
shouted.
up early. They
Yeah.
walked right downstairs.
It said Marshy on it.
and
Yeah.
then
And they
yeah, exactly.
ripped
And
it
then
open.
They gave it to somebody else too.
Ah,
That's a
man.
shame.
Man.
Anyways, so yeah, we'll play Beat the Streak Home Run Derby as Lance Lynn takes the hill today against the Miami Marlins for the home opener. We are at we're at the Budweiser Brew House inside Ballpark Village. Our opening day broadcast brought to you by Budweiser, Holiday World, and Splash and Safari, as well as Swiss Air Heating and Cooling. Where does this Cardinals rotation rank right now in Major League Baseball, at least from what we've seen? You guys more confident about it? We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN.
Louis and
Here we go, guys. Coming back.
is broadcasting live from the Budweiser Brew House inside Ballpark Village.
Our Cardinals home opener coverage is refreshed by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
Take it.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Dylan, we just met Dylan. He's chugging a beer right now. He's our kind of listener, that's for sure. He's going to play Beat the Streak with us in about 10 minutes. So we're going to do a live Beat the Streak with a listener that's here. We're at Ballpark Village, right across from Busch Stadium. And Doty, our engineer today, he put it perfectly. He goes, the baseball season has officially started because the Clydesdales just came out and did their thing.
That's like, I'm telling you, there is nothing better than the Clydesdales going around the warning track and just being here for opening day. It just does something to me. It's special.
A lot of the outfielders talk about, too, having to watch on the warning track when they go out to shag balls or at least go out there because sometimes the Clydesdale, they leave you something.
Just to let you know we were here.
Yeah, darn right.
Really? Yeah. Don't forget.
Hey, it's their warning track until the game starts.
My favorite part of the Clydesdales, and Doty actually mentioned this in the break, but the Dalmatian dog that sits there, and Doty was hoping that his dog would have the same patience as that Dalmatian.
Yeah.
But I just love the one. I just love dogs in general, but that dog just sitting there, it's iconic with the Clydesdales. He's absolutely right. Like, once the Clydesdales come out onto the field, baseball here in St. Louis has officially begun.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Dalmatian's a very energetic dog breed.
Yeah, they made a movie about it.
Yeah, 101 of them.
101
yeah,
of them.
and 102, actually.
Oh, did they go up to 102?
I believe so.
Oh, that's interesting.
They made 102 movies about Dalmatian?
No.
The name of the movie.
Yeah, it was the sequel.
What was the evil lady's name?
Oh, Cruella de Vil.
They actually made a movie about Cruella.
They did, yeah.
It's pretty good.
What type of person doesn't like Dalmatians? What's wrong with her?
She's got a backstory to her.
Okay.
It's like anybody else. You know, once you dive into the childhood, you really open up the
the
box.
Trauma.
Yeah,
childhood
you say,
trauma.
I've got a better feeling about you. Or, I know now why you're a psychopath.
Yeah. Every villain has their origin story.
Oh, indeed.
That's right.
Doesn't make it right.
All right, so no, it doesn't. So the Cardinals pitching staff thus far, we've seen everybody at least one time through the rotation. We have seen Miles Michaelis twice, and we've seen Zach Thompson twice. Unfortunately for Zach Thompson, both starts. While he at least was competitive. He was more competitive yesterday than what I thought he was going to be at the start of that game.
Right.
So that is the one positive. He pitched much deeper than I thought he would. But now that we've seen the rotation one plus time through the rotation here, one plus time through the order, you guys more confident?
Right now, and I think I'm a tough grader. So I think I'm about a C+.
Okay.
Like, I think, you talked about the Zach Thompson start. We can't forget Miles Michaelis' first start. Did pretty well the next time around. But I think right now I'm at a C to C+, with hopes that Sonny Gray can bump that up to a B- to a B, which I think helps you win games. I think the bullpen still needs to get healthy as they can. But if your starting pitching can get you to the 7th, we think we may have found the recipe to be successful with those three guys coming to 7th, 8th, and 9th.
I think C+ is probably what they should get. I think my biggest, and I was not expecting this, but my biggest question mark of this rotation is actually Zach Thompson at the moment.
Yeah.
And although he only gave up 3 runs yesterday, it just didn't look like a great outing. Like, I didn't feel good about the outing. Now, again, 3 runs, I'll take that any day of the week from this rotation.
Yeah.
However, the way it just looked, he didn't look comfortable on the mound. His control was kind of off. That first inning was a little erratic. But Miles Michaelis, he bounced back. That's what we needed to see. He did it, and now we'll see what he does next time. We'll see what all these pitchers do next time. But I think this is how the year is going to go. It's not going to be, all right, here's the rotation. We're good. It's like, no, we're probably going to be talking and critiquing them every single start because it's going to be much like what we've seen from the Blues this year.
Yeah.
You just don't know what you're going to get.
I think the other factor too is if you think about where we were at the start of the year with this rotation, or in spring training, or even the off season, if we look at it and say, man, if we get halfway through the year, certainly by the end of the year, but if we even get halfway through the year, and we all say, man, the rotation's much better than I thought it was going to be, that's a positive sign.
Oh, for sure.
Realistically, this is not going to be one of the best rotations in baseball. Realistically, it's not going to be one of the best rotations in the National League. But Carey, if we look back in a couple months, we say this rotation is much better than I thought it was. That's a good thing.
And that's why, jokingly, I say just get in. But there is some seriousness to it. Obviously, we matched up against the Dodgers first series. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
But if you get into the playoffs, anything is possible. This team, if you talk about 2 or 3 months from now, we're saying this pitching is actually doing a great job. And you're on the path to winning the division, putting yourself in a position to be in the playoffs. And again, you're not going to have, but injuries happen, things happen to other teams. You're not going to have the star power of the Dodgers or the Atlanta Braves. But once you're in, anything it can happen, and that's all you can ask for.
I mean, you're not wrong. 2006, the Cardinals got Jeff Weaver. Jeff Weaver was 8-14 in 2006 with a 5.76 ERA. And went and shoved.
Yes.
And won the World Series for this team in Game 5.
Yeah. Dreamweaver.
Yes.
Dreamweaver. Yeah.
So it's possible. You have a veteran guy.
You just get in the playoffs, and that's the thing about the playoffs. When you're a young team or a younger player, you may not really understand the severity or the pressure that's associated with it. But when you get into the playoffs, the level of play just moves up a notch, a couple of notches, and it's just different. So if you're able to get there, there's more pressure on players that haven't done it. When you're a younger player, you don't know. You're like, hell, I'm going to do this for the next 15 years.
I don't
you
know
may
the
not.
Yeah.
But if you're a guy that's been in for 8-9 years, and this is there's pressure associated with that. So that goes on either side. And so just getting into the playoffs, I promise you, anything is possible. You have an opportunity to win a championship, to run through. But if this team is able to have solid pitching for the next 2 to 3 months, I would be extremely excited, because that's the one thing that we were most concerned about.
So I'm looking way too far ahead. We don't even know if this team will even
go
make
ahead,
the postseason, but let's just say they do. Right now, we have the conversation, if the Blues make the playoffs, they could steal a series because of Jordan Bennington.
Right.
Do the Cardinals have something like that on this team to where you're like, you know what, they might not be the best team all around, but they have this type of player or this type of position to where that could steal a series?
Marsh, the way that you just put that is why, first of all, no, not right now. Not that they can't emerge, though. Let's leave the possibility open that something might emerge.
Yeah.
But that right there, what you just said, is why I often say, I don't care about you being balanced. Like, if you're balanced and you're like great at everything, okay, you're the Braves, you're the Dodgers.
Right.
All right. If you're balanced and you're just good in everything, you're probably just going to be okay overall. But if you're elite at least one thing, like Jordan Bennington can be elite. You get in a playoff series, and if he's elite, he steals the series from you. That is why I want to see that with the Cardinals. Whether it's not going to be pitching, I don't think, but maybe it's an elite bullpen. Maybe they shorten up a game.
Or maybe it's elite running on the bases, because
be
they
that.
have some young guys that can roll. So I don't know. Again, I'm with you. I don't know if there's one particular person that I can say right now, oh, yeah, him. I don't know if it's Goldie. I don't know if it's Arenado. I don't know if it's, Sonny Gray. But getting there and then finding out who that X-Factor player is, because somebody will become an X-Factor. And you're just like, I didn't know he had that in him. Or I didn't expect that to come out so soon. But playoffs bring a different animal out of different players. So you get there, anything can happen.
Or maybe it's the bullpen.
Yeah.
The bullpen looks different this year. Now, they also have a few guys that are banged up in the bullpen right now. But to me, that could be the thing that is their Jordan Bennington come playoff time.
Yeah.
Now, again, we don't know. It's April. Like,
it's the first week of the season.
It's the first week of the season, but that's our job, right? We like to speculate and say a bunch of nonsense. And
Yeah,
we just roll with it.
We do that every day, but we certainly do that a lot throughout the Cardinal season. There's no question about it. All right, Dylan is going to join us next to play Beat the Streak. We'll also have our home run derby as we get closer and closer to first pitch between the Cardinals and the Marlins for the home opener. It's a fast lane. Beat the Streak, home run derby next. We're live at Ballpark Village. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. Our guy Jamie Rivers is in Nashville, and we will get to some Blues, but hey, we got plenty of Cardinals talk here before first pitch, and we've got a special guest joining us right now. It's Dylan. Dylan was hanging out at Ballpark Village where we're at. We're inside the Budweiser Brewhouse, and Marsh just leans over and goes, "Hey," he goes, "I'll play Beat the Streak." Dylan just looked at us. He goes, Yeah, I do. So, Dylan, what's up, man?
How's it going, guys?
You have one of the coolest jackets
I do like
in this entire place.
Thank you very much. Yep. You guys have an awesome show.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
No, it's our pleasure, man. Yeah, so if anybody on the Snake Pit can see, the jacket's awesome. Although I'm liking Carey's, like this sleeve. It's not sleeveless, but short sleeve hoodie.
It's the Bill Belichick hoodie.
It's the Bill Belichick
It should be
hoodie
sleeveless. I should just roll it up.
Look at you with those guns.
Yeah,
Those guns
yeah.
like there's children out here. Derek. All right, so we're going to do Beat the Streak first. So, Dylan, you listen to the show, but you may not hear every segment. Do you know you know how we play Beat the Streak? Quick reminder.
Okay.
All you have to do is pick somebody from the Cardinals or Marlins today to get a hit. That's it. But, Marsh, you got 4.
I have 4 right
in a row.
now. Yep.
Am I at 2?
So let's check the
Check the
Anthony, you have 2.
I'm
Jamie
at
has
0.
1. Carey, 0.
Goose egg.
Goose egg right now. That's
So
the current streak.
It'll be Marsh, me. Did Jamie send in his pick?
He did, yes.
Okay, Jamie, then Dylan, then Carey.
God.
Sorry, buddy.
All right. Now figure it
So,
out.
Marsh, what do you got, dude?
All right, Anthony, I know you've been waiting over a year
He has
to
been.
pick this guy, and I'm going to steal him right from
gone.
you. Give me Luis
No,
Arise.
that's
He gone.
right. He's in the lineup. Son of a. Dylan, last year, I ran the streak up to, 10, 11?
It was up
Something
there, yeah.
like that. It
That's-
wound up being the longest streak. But
That's impressive.
Well, here's the thing, Dylan. The Cardinals were playing the Marlins for 4, and I took Luis Arise every single time, and he got a hit every single time. I completely forgot about him because he got hit yesterday in the game.
Yep.
I hope he doesn't get a hit for you, Marsh.
Well, thanks, Anthony.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so I'm going to take Paul Goldschmidt. I was telling you guys earlier that Ryan Weathers, who throws today for Miami, he's straight 4-seam fastballs. Paul Goldschmidt locked in right now on 4-seamer, so I think Paul Goldschmidt gets a hit today. Who's Jamie's pick?
All right, Jamie, let me check this out real quick. Jamie has Ivan Herrera. Ivan Herrera to get a base hit today.
All right, Dylan, you're up.
I think I'm going to go with my boy Wilson Contreras.
Oh, he's not in the lineup today.
Oh, are you serious?
Yep.
Not in
He
today.
got
Not
hit
in.
yesterday, so Herrera's
Opening
behind
day,
the
and you
dish.
can't even put
Hurt.
Wilson. Jeez.
Sorry.
How about Mason Wynn?
Mason
right.
Wynn.
Great pick.
Mason
Yep.
Wynn's in the lineup.
Okay.
You're good to go. So
Okay.
Dylan's got Mason Wynn.
This has been a little bit difficult for me. I've been picking the opposing team
Yeah.
often, and I want to do it again because Jazz Chisholm is 2 for 3 versus Lance Lynn, and Tim Anderson is 6 for 17 against Lance Lynn. Sounds pretty good.
Former teammates.
Former teammates, but I'm gonna go with Nolan Arenado.
Really?
Yeah.
So Victor Scott gets put in a leadoff spot. You celebrate,
I know.
and then
worry
you
about
don't
it.
take your guy. He
going
fell to you.
He's going to walk on. You know what? It's too late.
Nah, it's too late.
Too late.
Maybe you'll pick him for a home run.
There you go. A 3-tier.
Leadoff home run.
Inside the Parker.
Well, let's find
That would
out
be
then. Let's do our home run derby now.
Back.
I don't believe what I just saw.
All right, so we don't have a listener pick the home runs, but Dylan's up here. He's ready to go. He's looking good with his jacket. So, Dylan, we're going to give you an honorary selection. We'll have you go last, but this is just you pick a Cardinal to hit a home run. It's tiered certain ways. You don't have to worry about that, but listen to who we pick, and then whoever's left over, you get an honorary selection. Sound good?
Yep, sounds
right.
good.
All right, so Jamie's leading right now, and his home.
He's got 3. We're 0
Can
for
we make an
gopher.
amendment to the rule?
No.
If it's an inside the Parker, it counts for double.
Yes.
You
No,
will
but it'll count for a home run.
It
You
is
will-
a home run.
not believe this.
Who did he pick?
His home run pick, I asked him, hey, give me a few different options because one guy could be picked.
Right.
First guy, Victor Scott II.
Are you serious?
I'm not joking.
What type of? Come on. What is he doing here?
You deserve it, man.
All
You
right.
didn't pick your guy.
Okay.
You
You're
know,
right.
Wilson Contreras has 2 home runs. That's your guy, too.
That's
You
my
did
guy.
Not, you did not pick him in either time.
I picked him the first 2 times, and he didn't hit a home
Well,
run.
you got to stick with your guy.
So I'm supposed to go with the same person every day?
Yeah. It's, not bad. It's honestly not a bad strategy. Eventually, you're going to hit one.
Eventually.
Yeah.
25 of them more than likely.
There you go.
Yeah.
Marsh.
I'll go with Nolan Gorman today. I think he finds the barrel of the bat and finds the bleachers.
Okay.
Struggling
Carey.
to find that. I'm going to go with Jordan Walker.
Walk it like it's hot.
Walk it like it's hot.
All right. I'll just double dip here. I'll go with R.L. Chalk. Give me Paul Goldschmidt to hit a Ding Dong Johnson. All right, Dylan, you can have. Let's see. You have
I got Jordan Walker.
Okay, so Nolan Arenado is available. Ivan Herrera is available. Alec Burleson is available. If you want to double dip with Mason Wynn, you can. Or you could go with Michael Ciani, who's hitting 9.
Super bad.
Super bad.
Is Brendan Donovan in the lineup?
Nope.
He's not in the lineup.
Okay. All right.
You could go the pinch hit route, but I wouldn't recommend
I wouldn't
it.
recommend it either.
All right. You know what? I think I'm going to go with Mason Wynn.
There you
All
go.
right, double dip and Mason
dip.
Wynn. All right. Hey, Dylan, have a fun time today.
Yes.
Thanks for playing today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Excellent,
Appreciate it.
man.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Nice
brother.
meeting you, brother.
That's Dylan. He's down here, huge Cardinals fan. He's here for opening day, just like many of you. And the Cardinals and Marlins will get it on here not too long from now, about 20 minutes. 20 minutes, the opening festivities. We're watching it on the TVs here at Ballpark Village. They're doing the caravan. You know, our guy Matt Holliday, I happened to look up one time and I saw Matt Holliday. You get the beanie on.
Yeah.
He's my man always looks good.
Yeah.
He's always got like the perfect fit going on with his clothes. He's got the jacket. He's got the beanie look going.
But here's the thing. When you don't have hair, you got to keep your head protected.
Very true.
It gets cold.
I'm sure.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of cold. So he's a smart man.
He is. Certainly is. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Why don't we take a look at this matchup, shall we? Oh, no. We got Chris Kerber next, so we can't do that. So Chris Kerber will join us next, talk a little Blues hockey ahead of tonight's pivotal matchup against the Nashville Predators. Kerbs next in the Fastlane on 101 ESPN.
March time for Curbside with the voice of the Blues, Chris Kerber. Brought to you by Scott Lee Heating Company, a proud Mitsubishi Electric Elite contractor.
Take it.
It's the Fastlane on 101 ESPN, live from the Budweiser Brewhouse inside Ballpark Village, steps away from Busch Stadium for opening day. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter, and while the Cardinals are ready to get it going here in about 15 minutes, the Blues, our Blues, have a huge game tonight at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, where they'll take on the Predators at 7 o'clock. You'll hear the voice, of course, and not only during the game, but in the pregame right here on 101 ESPN of Chris Kerber, who joins us right now via the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line. Kerbs, how are you today?
Anthony, I'm good. How are you?
Well, we're doing great. As you know, you've been to plenty of these opening days. It's a fun atmosphere. It's electric. And since you're a huge St. Louis fan, I'm sure you're going to agree, one of the best traditions in all of sports is the home opener for the Cardinals.
It's opening day for the baseball season, and then the home opener for the Cardinals are two of my all-time favorite holidays of the year. I love it. I love the atmosphere. I love the pomp, the circumstance, everything about it. I love that it looks like Lance Lynn is going to bring some much-needed mental toughness to this baseball team this year that was severely lacking last year. And I'm excited to see kind of how it plays out. So a fun day, win or lose, no matter what, if you're a baseball fan in St. Louis.
Well, hopefully the Cardinals will give the local fan base a dub here in the matinee, and then they can tune in tonight as the Blues take on the Predators in an absolutely pivotal game. Curbs, if I were to say to you, fill in the blank, the most important aspect tonight for the Blues will be what?
Commitment to simple hockey. The Nashville Predators, Anthony, have really clobbered the Blues in the first two games that, honestly weren't really even close. And I think the reason when you look back at those is because Nashville plays that heavy, work the puck in the offensive zone, down low kind of game that can grind you down. And the Blues, defensively in their own zone, are playing a system in this transition still that allows a lot of possession time for the opposition on the outside part of the zone and kind of defend the middle of the ice. But what that has done over the course of, I think, the year is given teams some really extended zone time, especially in the second period where line changes are difficult. And I think that has played completely into Nashville's game in the first two meetings head-to-head with this team. So the Blues have to be very clean at the blue lines, get the puck out, chip it in. If you try to play a skill game at the blue lines, stick handle around somebody, go east-west rather than north-south, they're going to clobber you again. And we've seen that, when a team like Vegas comes in and scares you because they're defending Stanley Cup champs, right? Or maybe Dallas or Edmonton because it's Connor McDavid. But even the reason the Blues have been close with Edmonton is because they don't play that style of game that Nashville does. The reason they've been close with Vegas is I think Vegas scares the snot out of you. And so if you don't, you're going to get embarrassed. Well, Nashville doesn't have some of that same fear because they haven't won a whole lot in terms of deep playoff runs other than one about 6-7 years ago. But they play that game now under their new general manager, Barry Trotz, and head coach Andrew Brunette, and the St. Louis Blues have got to be aware of it.
Curbs, you look at this team, and we've been trying to figure this out all season long. They have a terrible loss to the San Jose Sharks where they get booed off the ice, and then they come back and beat the Oilers. What can we expect? Is this just every single night? Are they going to be able to pull it together, bring themselves to the fight, and actually play a Predators team that they could potentially get the number one wild card if they continue to win and the Preds continue to lose?
I have no more information on that, Carey, than you do. I don't know. I think we talked about this last week or something, or 2 weeks ago in Ottawa. Normally once you get to this point in time of the season, there's a certain identity that you know that your team is, and unfortunately this team's identity has been inconsistency, right? So we've seen that they could pull the game together and play great games against Vegas and Edmonton and Dallas and Boston. You know, they played Boston really well twice. But we've also seen that, and I don't listen. If you lose one, maybe two of those games to San Jose or Columbus or Chicago, right, or Arizona, that's one thing. But they lost 7. 7 isn't a fluke. 7 is also part of your reality. And I guess, like, in all honesty, has there ever been a truer quote in all of sports than Denny Green's "You are what your record says you are"? Like as much as you think that, okay, they can't. So what gives you hope, and they still have a chance, is one, they're within a reachable distance with 7 games to go. They played the same number of games now as the LA Kings. The LA Kings beat Seattle last night. The Kings have a fairly easy schedule like the Blues do as well in terms of the opponents, but we've seen how the Blues have flubbed those games. But they give you hope because they've actually been able to get points against some of those top teams. So, you know, I don't have a great answer for you because I don't know that Doug Armstrong, I don't know that the coaches, I don't even know if the players fully know what they're going to expect every single night going into this, because that consistency hasn't led to that feeling that no matter what, we know what our game looks like.
Well, Curbs, we know one guy that's consistent for the most part is Jordan Bennington. With all the chaos that's going to ensue with this final stretch of games in the regular season, how do you think the Blues will go about their goalie situation? Do you think it'll be the same as what it's been with the rotation, or do you think Bennington will get the majority of the starts because of the situation that they're in right now?
Well, with only 7 games to go, yeah, I still think Bennington's going to get the majority of the starts. You still have that one final set of back-to-backs going San Jose to Anaheim. Now, you know, you're playing 24 hours later. Jordan Bennington can go back-to-back. You know, the one thing when you look at the track record, they do start to see, you know, his performance drop a little bit when you get to that 4th or 5th game in a row kind of thing. And this year, I think you've seen a really good Jordan Bennington because they've had a really good backup that's been able to help get the job done. So I still expect Jordan Bennington to get the majority of the starts. I look at it like this, Andrew, and this is me talking, not the coach, not the general manager, not the players. I believe in sports that you don't lose with your best on the bench. And if the season is on the line, the majority of the ice time, from a skating standpoint, is going to your top players, and your top goalie's in net. And if Jordan Bennington says, I'm good to go, you're playing him. So that's the way I look at that. But I kind of expect 1, maybe 2 more starts for Joel Hofer.
Chris Kerber, the voice of the Blues, joins us right now in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Kerbs, the results have not been pretty in the 2 games that the Blues have played with Nashville this season. November 24th, 8-3 loss. February 17th, 5-2 loss. What is it about Nashville that has presented a problem for them this season, and what's a thing that the Blues can kind of combat the Predators who enter this game? They're kind of struggling.
Yeah, they've lost 3 in a row. I think that goes back to what I was talking about a little bit earlier when I got a little long-winded there about the just the style of play that Nashville plays. The teams like the Nashville Predators, the New York Rangers, you know, those kind of teams, the Carolina Hurricanes, that have very good active defensemen but play that heavy offensive zone checking style, you have to be able to get the puck out clean and put the puck in the other zone. Again, if the Blues try a lot of east-west play in the neutral zone instead of north-south, Nashville's going to knock it down, and you're going to be defending all the way through. Jordan Bennington loves playing against Nashville. I think he loves the moment that the stage that he's in. This is his playoffs right now. I think he's up for it. I think he's excited about it. He's been fantastic. So to me, Anthony, they've got to avoid getting hemmed in their own zone by Nashville, and you do that by just making the smart play. It isn't going to be pretty, high-skilled, Instagram reel highlight hockey, but it can be effective, good, hardworking hockey that gives you a chance.
Kerbs, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Puck Cancer. It's the charity hockey game for Kelly Chase, your former partner, former broadcast partner of you on the Blues Radio Network. It's tomorrow night. We're going to be broadcasting live from Centene tomorrow, and I know we're going to be talking to a lot of your friends down there. But is there anything that you kind of wanted to say about the puck cancer auction and, of course, the charity hockey game that's going to be going on tomorrow night?
Yeah, you know what? This is actually going to be a celebration of, I think, several people, along with the, hoping to raise over $500,000 for Siteman Cancer Center. And it's Kelly Chase at his absolute best put it together. His son, Will, doing an amazing job helping get this thing arranged, bringing in celebrities from all different sports and realms as lead singer of Old Dominion. You've got Garth Brooks coming in to do a meet and greet at the VIP session where he said, I'll take as long as it needs to meet every single person that's part of that.
That's great.
When they do so, Sean Payton, head coach of the Denver Broncos. D.B. Sweeney was going to come in. D.B. Sweeney ended up getting a job, apparently, out of country for a movie that he's got to go shoot, so that ended up taking him out. But they're Dave Coulier, right? Uncle Joey from Full House.
Full House.
Right? And so many others are going to be there. The alumni that are coming in, and not just alumni from the Blues, guys, alumni from the NHL. Chris Chelios, they're Hall of Famers coming in. Holly's going to be there. Like, the Alumni Association meetings are going to be in St. Louis over the weekend. So there's going to be basically every organization will be represented. But Troy Murray, who's battling cancer, Brian Boyle, who battled cancer, all these, they're going to be there as well in support of this night with Chaser. And it's going to be a special night. So, I think Blues fans can go to the Blues website for more information. There may still be a few tickets left. I think there are some VIP slots left. If you want a chance, and not a chance, if you get a VIP ticket, you'll have your meet and greet with Garth Brooks. And it'll be a real special night. But, Anthony, thanks for bringing that up. You're right, because this is basically the heart and soul of who Kelly Chase is, where even in the toughest battle of his life, he's raising money to help other people.
Well said, Curbs. I'm sitting here with my CD, my Chris Duncan 16 shirt on for opening day. So I know that you've been impacted with this, and so have I. So anything that we can do to help our friends do what they do, like you said, we're all for it. So maybe we'll get a chance to see you tomorrow down at Centene. I don't know what the travel is for you guys, but anyways, we're looking forward to the event tomorrow.
All right, have an awesome day. Thanks for being out there tomorrow, and enjoy opening day, guys.
Yeah, appreciate you, Curbs. Have a great call tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's Chris Kerber here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. You can listen to him tonight, pregame starting right here on 101 ESPN at 6 o'clock, and it certainly is a big game. We will talk to Jamie Rivers live from the road, live from Nashville the next hour, and we'll break down this matchup even more. And I'm interested to hear what he has to say about this game, because as we talked about with Gerbs, this Nashville team is giving the Blues fits. So we'll talk to Jamie again about this matchup coming up tonight. Is the goal to be competitive or win a World Series? We'll talk about that next for the Cardinals here on 101 ESPN.
thing, but you definitely want to put a team out there that you feel like can compete and give you a chance to win, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. And when I hear people say that we're just not willing to spend, or we're not drafting well enough, or we're not trading well enough, and like, look, there's always ways to do things better. I'm not going to say there's not, but to say that we're not trying to put a win
10
out there, I think is rather insulting to someone like myself, because we certainly are, and we want to put a product out there that not only we're proud of, but so our fans can be as well.
That was John Mozeliak earlier today on the opening drive. By the way, Superbad already with the play of the game. Luis Arraez robbed of a base hit.
I'll take it. It's fine.
By Michael Ciani out in left field. We call him Superbad because I thought the Cardinals had signed Michael Cera, the actor.
Michael Cera.
Cera. Yeah, Cera.
Superbad.
Yeah. And that would have played well into some of our theories that the Cardinals are not trying to win a World Series if they sign an actor.
He can still be called Superbad, though. I like that name for him.
Yeah, I like that too.
Michael Superbad.
There you go.
Because, the word bad, to when you say bad, now bad could be good.
Yeah.
It's
definitely good in this context.
He's a bad man.
Bad man.
Yeah, exactly.
See that? Him stealing that hit? Yeah.
So Mo and Carey, you were coming back from the bathroom. I don't know if you heard the entire quote from Mo when he was on the opening drive this morning, but he was talking about, hey, I don't want to say that our goal is to win the World Series because only one team wins the World Series. And right away, the fan base, I think, gets ticked off. And I don't think that's Mo saying they don't want to win the World Series. It's Mo being practical, and I think being too practical at times gets him into a lot of trouble with the fan base. The fan base does not want to hear practicality. The fan base wants to hear we're going to win the whole thing. If they had the A's roster, this fan base would want to hear we're trying to win a World Series.
Correct.
So when Mo goes, Captain Practical, it winds up blowing up in his face.
I think the goal could be to win the World Series, because when I heard that quote, I immediately thought of Carey Davis and you saying that the worst team in the league thinks that they are the best team in the league.
Yeah.
So I understand this whole perspective and the goals that we're setting from a front office standpoint. You cannot tell the players in the clubhouse that your goal is to be competitive. It's to win a World Series.
Right.
And that's why I think sometimes there's a little bit of just like mix and mash from two separate entities within one giant entity.
Every man in that locker room believes that they have a chance to win the World Series. That you have to convince yourself that you are that good. Now, maybe around game 80, maybe 60, depending on what your record is, you may realize maybe
Depending
that's not
on if it's last year.
Yeah, last year, a couple of years ago, okay. But it depends on where you are when you get to that point. You're like, no, it's probably not this year. Yeah. But going into the season, when you're 0-0, when you're the first 3 series into the season, you believe. You believe there's an opportunity to win the World Series. The Pittsburgh Pirates right now think that they can win the World Series. Mm-hmm. That's just the mindset of a player. And to hear, the president of baseball operations saying, well, that's not really our mindset. That's not the goal. Yeah, it is. It should be.
Yeah.
You should be setting up your roster to compete with the LA Dodgers. Are you going to spend the amount of money? Nope, but that means you got to scout well, and you got to find guys that can play the positions well enough to compete with those guys. Are you going to be your roster going to be better than the Atlanta Braves right now? Probably not. But you still have to find those guys. And your goal, in my opinion, every single time should be to win it all. I went to Illinois. Do you think I didn't think I was going to win a national championship every year?
Yeah.
Every year, Anthony. I thought it.
If you didn't, you would have went to Michigan.
Well, yeah, that's another story. Huh? They thought it at Michigan too, except for they did a couple times.
Carey. So we're talking about the John Mozeliak comments earlier on the opening drive. Nothing earth-shattering from the standpoint of the way he said it. Because it is the way he said it, right? He's going practical. I'm just going to talk from my viewpoint on it, okay? Do I think that the Cardinals don't want to win it all? No, of course. I think they want to win it all, okay? I think that's the Not an expectation, clearly, but that is something that they're trying to build the most complete roster that they can within the budget that they can. Okay. They're trying to scout to the best of their abilities. They're trying to recruit talent to the best of their abilities, all that. When you play in the same league as the Dodgers and the Braves and some of these other, the Phillies, some of these other loaded rosters, I look around and I say, okay, the Rays know that they can't compete with those teams from a budget standpoint, so they do something different. The Brewers, right in your own division, they look at this and say, we know we're not going to be able to spend to that degree. What can we do to combat that? Then I look at the Cardinals, and I think that this is just my opinion, they look at it and say, well, we can't spend like the Dodgers, so we'll just We'll be Dodgers light. Like
Dodgers light.
Is that like a beer like Miller Light? Is that like?
No, it's Budweiser.
It's like an app, and the light version is like
it's
the
Bud Light.
It's
the
like
free version. If the Dodgers are Budweiser,
labels out.
The Cardinals are like whatever Anheuser-Busch's absolute lightest beer is, and they're like, hey, we're still
Bud
beer.
Ice.
I don't know.
What's the non-alcoholic beer?
That's what they.
What is that called? O'Doul's.
O'Doul's.
Yes, we are.
They're the O'Doul's.
We're O'Doul's.
But then they say, they're like, hey, we're beer. You're not. You're not beer. Now, I understand you can't be Budweiser.
Right.
I get that, right?
But why can't you?
But can you be a craft beer? Or, well, I guess I shouldn't go that route either. Can you be a different version? Can you be a different version of, under the Budweiser,
like
Anheuser-Busch?
Bud Select.
Under the Anheuser-Busch family. Can you be something? Yeah, can you be a Bud Select?
Yeah, and that is St. Louis. Like that's
crisp, refreshing.
That's us, baby.
It's good stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's what other teams are doing. Brewers most year are a nice Bud Select.
Now they're more Miller, which sucks.
Well, that's true too. This analogy is getting blown up constantly. They used to be Miller.
Yeah, Miller
Now
Park.
they're American Family Fields.
Yeah, they're getting rid of insurance.
Now, let me get us back.
I don't know what that is.
Let me get us back on track. Let me steer us back on track.
Yeah, get back in the mo.
My point is
Busch Light.
that they're not doing something creative.
That's my baseball team.
They're not doing something creative. They're not doing something different. They're just like, we'll spend ish, we'll scout ish. They're not doing anything that's outside of the box. If they were, I could at least look at that and say, man, they can't spend like the Dodgers. They don't even try to spend like the Dodgers. However, they are being creative in whatever way. They're being a version of the Rays, but they're not that. So you're kind of left with this like, I know how this movie's gonna play.
Yeah, I think that the Cardinals, and I think I've said this time and time again, I think we put so much on John Mozeliak, but if I'm able to sign players to certain contracts, there's someone above me that is saying yay or nay to the amount. So he's got a boss. He's got a boss. So if I wanted to go get a Jordan Montgomery, I say, yeah, 1 year, $25 million. My boss has to approve that.
Right.
So I think we kind of get lost in the shuffle of, is this all on John Mozeliak? Is he not trying?
It is not.
Or is his boss telling him, hey, no, I don't want to spend that. I don't want to go above this number. Now, I gave you $50. I gave you a list. Now, you're going to have to go get some generic food.
Right.
Because the name brand is probably going to cost more.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get the generic kind, and it's still going to fill you up, Anthony. Yes. You're still going to eat it. You're still going to love it. This is your grocery store analogy.
Yes.
This is what this is. You're going to deal with it. Are you going to be full? Yeah. Is it going to taste as great as the other brand?
No.
Probably not. Then you're going to be a little bit frustrated. But what you're not going to be is hungry.
I think I'm still going to be hungry. This is what I would want to hear. This is my personal opinion.
By the way, my streak just got up to 3, baby.
Whatever.
No, not whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, we need him to get a hit. So this is what I would want to hear. I would want to hear that every year the goal should be to win a World Series.
Yep.
Right now, we do not believe that we are at the same level as other teams, but that does not mean that we're not trying to be competitive.
Right.
We know that we have a lot of young talent on our roster that will be elite or could be elite here in the near future. Right now, we're in a little bit of a waiting period while we still have our veterans, but we still believe that we can make a playoff push. But like that's what I want to hear. Just
Right.
to know that like you know where you're at, and not trying to say one thing like, oh, we're going to be competitive, or just be like, we're going to win the World Series. Like everyone knows that you're not going to win the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's possible, but like Dodgers, Braves, Houston Astros, Texas Rangers, the Yankees look like they're a completely different ball club.
Yeah, I mean, they look. They're every time the an Arizona Diamondbacks reach the World Series in the manner that they did, it's just going to reinforce to this ownership, which trickles down to the president of baseball operations, that if we just do enough, we can get in, and then who knows?
But here's the problem with that. Oh my goodness gracious!
I'm going to start calling him DP. I swear.
Jeez.
Nolan Arenado.
Here's the problem.
Grounded to a double play.
Arizona is not as bad as people think. They're not
Because
like
they got pitching.
They have pitching. They have Corbin Carroll on their team.
He's raking again.
Like they're not as bad as people. I mean, they're not bad at all. But like people think, well, they're a 7.
You're right.
Seed.
They were a surprise last year, but they
have guys.
They have some dudes. Sure. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh. Speaking of Marshy, he's got what's trending next in the Fastlane.
It's time. Cardinals home opener coverage is powered by Swiss Air Heating and Cooling. Receive a $1,600 rebate and 16-year warranty on a new HVAC system at SwissAirSTL.com. It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We are live from the Brew House, the Budweiser Brew House, inside Ballpark Village, steps away from Busch Stadium for opening day. And our opening day broadcast is brought to you by Budweiser, Holiday World, and Splash and Safari, and Swiss Air Heating and Cooling with Carey Davis. You got a question?
Weren't y'all supposed to find how many steps exactly we are from Busch Stadium?
That was something that Marsh, I think, was gonna do.
I'm gonna do that here soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
We say steps away, but it would be better if we were like 27 steps away.
Right, or like
from Busch Stadium.
130 steps away.
I don't think
it is
130.
tough though, because
I mean, that's probably like about 30 steps.
I think we all have different foot sizes. So if I were to go, I don't have a 12.
Than us,
well, you're taller. Your stride length matters.
Right, but you have to go back to back.
Are we going?
Foot.
We're going.
Oh, then dude.
We're steps,
I thought we were going
right?
to go. See, Doty said stride length. It's just a normal walk. We're talking about steps, not
I
feet.
have that hockey stride though. I got the.
Do it again.
I'm pushing off that back leg. I got that hamstring injury that could occur.
Sure.
I don't want to go down to Memphis. I want to be right here.
You want to stay up.
I want to be right here.
Yeah, right here with us on game day.
On game day. On the
27
homestand.
steps from Busch Stadium.
Now, don't get me wrong.
27.
It might be like 47, maybe.
If Zach Edey is doing
Maybe.
this, it's about 27 steps. Yeah. Good luck to the Purdue superstar.
Boilermakers.
Yeah, for the Final Four this weekend. All right, Marsh, what do we got for what's trending?
Yeah, so the Cardinals and Marlins right now all tied up at zeros heading to the bottom of the second inning. We brought it up last segment, but Nolan grounded into a double play. What are you guys seeing out of Nolan Arenado so far this year? I know a lot of people on the internet are a little upset with how he's been playing so far. We saw a little bit of this last year too. Like, what are you seeing from him at the plate right now?
You want to go first? Go ahead.
Well, a guy like him who is a veteran, who has done it so long, I'm not going to – because we did do this last year. He did struggle the first half of the season. Didn't win the Gold Glove for the first time in 10 years. He struggled at the plate, and he struggled in the field at times. And I think we kind of panicked. And I think he put a lot of pressure on himself. You saw the frustration. We're 8 games in now, 7 games. I'm not going to panic just yet, but him grounding into double plays is not a great thing, which is why you need a faster guy at the top of the line. I don't know it was Goldie on first this time, but you get a faster guy at the top of the lineup, go steal second, and don't put yourself in double play position. So
or hit and runs,
or
too.
Hit and
I
run.
like get guys moving.
I don't know that they would hit and run with Goldie.
Yeah.
Right? I just don't. It might help, but he's going to get out of the funk. He's been doing it too long to really worry about where he is right now.
I'm just going to say this right now. I think Ivan Herrera is going to hit a home run right here.
Oh. Did you pick him?
No, I didn't, but
Oh.
I just had this weird feeling that he's going to go yard right now.
Do you guys like the Gold Gloves?
Yes.
I do too.
Love the Gold Gloves.
Unless it's an accent. I like it.
So,
you're talking about like gold?
Oh.
No.
No way. He did.
No way. Oh.
Marshy had a vision.
Marsh just called it. Marsh just literally called that at Ballpark Village.
Marshy had a vision.
Marsh had a vision, and it was correct. Are you serious right now?
Good job, Marshy.
Did that just happen? You just called that?
That was nice.
You sick son of a. You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding. Oh, my
Like,
goodness.
are we on delay?
Can't be. Even MLB is like, he's on time. That was good. That was really damn good.
Wow.
Did anybody take Herrera?
Let me check real quick.
I thought
should
Dylan
just,
did.
I should just get a point for that.
I
I'm
think
not
Dylan
lying.
took Herrera.
Give me like a half point.
No, he took Win.
Oh, he did.
After he
Oh,
tried to
man.
take Donovan.
Donovan.
He's not in the lineup.
Wow.
Marsh, that was impressive.
That was damn good.
Dude, okay,
Dude,
so.
I might have to go buy a lottery ticket tonight.
No kid. I
trending?
almost swore.
Marshy.
I almost just swore that. So can anybody pull that up real quick? Was that on a four-seamer?
I'm not too sure.
Because we talked. Remember earlier in the show, I said
It was on, no, it was a sinker.
that was a sinker.
Yeah.
Well, that negates what I said earlier that the kid's going to get a four-seamer and
get a hold of it.
I was gonna try to ride on a Marsh's call there, but Andrew Marsh just literally called an Ivan Herrera home run. He said, "I can feel it.
That was nice.
I can feel it in my pants," is what he said. And then Ivan Herrera just
that might be
tattooed
the
one.
coolest. I hope my broadcasting career continues long into however old I get, but that will be probably the coolest
That was a
moment of
good
my
moment.
life.
I liked it.
That was
For
remarkable.
Sure. Well
Okay. So, getting back to Nolan Arenado after all that excitement.
Nolan Arenado.
I know not everybody loves the.
Oh my gosh! I had Gorman for the home run.
That was
Walker.
Oh, was it Walker?
Yeah. Gorman's on base though. As we react to live on live radio. So Nolan Arenado, you asked like, what are you seeing? I know that I know that a lot of people aren't high on the analytics and whatever, but they can paint a story. He has faced 23 four-seamers this year. He's got a 0 batting average, no slug obviously. They're putting him away on four-seamers. So either he's not seeing the ball or he's behind. Maybe he's got a lengthy swing. There's something going on right now where he's just not seeing the ball well. So will it last all year? No. Nolan Arenado's a stud, but perhaps they're attacking him on the outer half of the plate, and he's rolling over too much. Either way, the double plays have been a killer for him this year.
All right, let's move on. We talked about this yesterday. Stephon Diggs traded to the Houston Texans. The Texans wiped out the final 3 seasons of Stephon Diggs' deal, and he will become a free agent after this season. What are your thoughts on that? That's according to ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Well, either they have confidence that he's going to re-sign with them soon and they are work something out. I don't think that they made that trade with the expectation of Stephon Diggs only being there 1 year.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to be your number 1 receiver. I know they got Tank Dell. Nico Collins did a great job. But those guys are not Stephon Diggs. He is a difference maker. And if you got all 3 of those guys healthy, you got a running game, you got a tight end that you can throw the ball to, this Houston Texans team is going to be a really dangerous offense to deal with.
Are they profiling to be the AFC's version of the 49ers at this moment?
I don't know if it's the 49. I would say more of the Cincinnati Bengals with the 3 receivers that they had.
Yeah.
And Joe Mixon obviously going from Cincinnati to Houston when Cincinnati made their run to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago and lost to the Rams. They had a really good team, but all 3 of those receivers could be, 1A or 1B. Tyler Boyd probably a 2. But T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are definitely 1s. So
What about the Bengals defense? So I'm looking at from both sides. So you have a rookie quarterback, or on a rookie deal at least. C.J. Stroud, in my opinion, is way better than Brock Purdy. But you have 2 sound wide receivers, a tight end, like you said, a solid running game. Joe Mixon's no Christian McCaffrey by any means, but they've built that defense too.
Yeah.
This team's going to be scary.
From a complete, they're starting to become more complete, and I think that's what you look at with the Niners.
Yes.
Certainly, like you said, with Christian McCaffrey, that's the ultimate X factor. I was a little surprised to see that they're going to allow him to get out of the deal afterwards, but maybe it's a situation where Stephon Diggs, he comes in and maybe they got a sense like, maybe he doesn't want to be there long term. He doesn't want to call it. They don't want to have it be an issue, and they're just going to prove it to him. Like, hey, this is where you want to be over the long haul.
Yeah,
because they gave up a 2nd-round pick. Now it was next year. I didn't realize that when I looked at it. I thought it was for this upcoming draft. So it was next year. So there's less value if you do it a year from now.
Right.
Still, 2nd-round pick for Stephon Diggs. I'm with you, Carey. Ultimately, they think that they're going to sign him.
Yeah. And
they're going to rework a deal, and they're going to figure it out. They also have to pay C.J. Stroud at some point.
Well, they got a couple more years for that. They can kick that can down the road for at least 2 more years.
Sure.
He's on the 2nd year. They'll pick up the 5th-year option, and then they'll probably start working on that. So you're 3 years away from that. And if you are able to put together a team like what they're doing now. They got Daniil Hunter. You got Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter both coming off the edges. They got the top tackler from the Tennessee Titans last year. And so they are going to be a really good team for 2024. And I'm excited to watch them play.
Yeah, they're excellent.
Last thing here, the Oakland Athletics will end their run in Oakland after the 2024 season. And from 2025 to 2027, they will be playing in Sacramento. So the AAA-esque Oakland Athletics will play in a minor league ballpark before they go to Vegas.
I was listening to Cody Decker talk about the amenities there in Sacramento, and he said it's a nice ballpark for a minor league team. The bullpen is small. There's nothing there. They only have, I think, like one locker room or something like that, where it's not set up to be a major league stadium. So it's going to be reminiscent of like where the Arizona Coyotes are playing Mullet Arena.
Yeah.
It's not a great setup.
They won't. All. I mean, they weren't going to get free agents to begin with.
No, they're not even trying.
They're not trying. Yeah. But I mean, at what point does Major League Baseball step in and say,
Carey,
"Hey, enough is enough"?
Carey, I had I made the same comment about the NHL with Arizona.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you allowing this to take place in Major League Baseball and National Hockey League? Why are you allowing a team to not even try? You should be forced to sell the team at some point.
The owners have – it shows, though, that the owners have the ultimate power. It's got nothing to do with Rob Manfred. It's got nothing to do with any commissioner. The owners have power. The commissioner of every sport, unless you're
Adam Silver.
Adam Silver, thank you. Unless you're Adam Silver, who works for the players, the owners around every other sport own that sport. Yeah. And the commissioners just – Roger Goodell's a puppet for the owners.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that's the same way with Rob Manfred.
I wonder how many times they'll light the beam in Sacramento.
I don't think
maybe
a lot.
None.
Yeah. Now, you think the Kings can light the beam more than the A's will in those one season than they will in those 3 years?
At 40,
yes.
50 games, 50 times. You don't know.
So they'd have
if the Kings win more than the A's, and the A's have double the games.
Plus the home games, they only do it at home games too. So yeah, it is half.
Oh man,
that'd be bad.
That's troubling.
Light the beam.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN.
Not for the A's.
Remember when Carey called the National League Central absolute garbage? I wonder if he thinks differently now. We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
Take it.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We're live from Ballpark Village inside the Budweiser Brew House for our opening day broadcast. It's all brought to you by Budweiser, Holiday World, and Splash and Safari, Swiss Air Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals up 1-0 thanks to an Andrew Marsh called Ivan Herrera home run. Herrera's hitting in the cleanup spot today, and he took Ryan Weathers deep for his first home run of the year, and Andrew Marsh called it 20 seconds before it happened?
We can congratulate Ivan Herrera, but really the congratulations goes to Marsh. He actually made it happen.
So
very proud of you.
You know, we talk about Jamie throwing out the first pitch and him propelling Adam Wainwright to his 200th win. I feel like I'm in somewhat of that same category right now.
I can see that.
So, obviously, the 200th win is way bigger than just a home run. But
it's opening day. Ivan Herrera would never forget that.
It's a big home run.
Yeah.
All right, so Carey Davis just slammed the National League Central through the entire offseason, repeatedly calling it garbage. Now, Carey Davis, ever the gentleman, I'm sure looking at these standings right now, the Pittsburgh Pirates 5-1, the Brewers 4-1, the Reds 4-2, the Cubs 4-2, and our Cardinals, hopefully after today, 4-4. Carey, again, ever the gentleman, would you like to, make amends for some of the comments you made about this stellar division?
You know, I was thinking about that when you said that before break, and I was scratching my head because I know I say a lot of things, but
a lot of great things. You were just off on this one.
Yeah, but I think you have me and you confused because you actually were the one that said the division isn't even trying. And here we are, dead last in the division, the only team under 500. I don't think that was me, sir. I think that was one Anthony Thomas Stalter that said that.
Now, I remember saying the Pirates
you said
are
everybody. No.
And here they are 5-1.
You know what you did? You did what you did with the Chiefs. You jumped on the bandwagon after they were already having success. When they were 5-0, you were like, yeah, these Pirates are amazing. And then you wanted to be a Pirates fan, so we just said you were. But you actually said the division was not trying. Even after the Cubs re-signed Cody Bellinger and, they made the moves that they made. You said the Brewers, the best move they made or the worst move they made, they got rid of their manager. What are they going to do? They was trading people. You thought that the division wasn't trying, but yet the division is better. And we're still at the bottom right now.
Yeah, it's only
got a
one
ways
week.
to go.
Got a ways to go here.
This did happen last year, though, with the Pirates. They looked like a
They
pretty
came
damn
out
good
firing,
team.
yeah.
And then, they weren't. But,
they realized, in fact, they are the Pirates.
The one guy, though, that I'm looking at is Paul Skeens. That guy can throw the ball. And when he's up and moving with the big club, just watch out. You never know what could happen with them.
The Pirates got some good young talent. They do. And when you're drafting consistently in the, top 10, you're going to have a better chance to land some of these guys. Or you make deals. O'Neal Cruz was a trade with the Dodgers, I believe. Andrew McCutchen, Ke'Bryan Hayes. Not Andrew McCutchen. Well, I know he's back, but Ke'Bryan Hayes is one of their studs. Jack Swinski he had a decent year last year for them. They got a young kid that plays second and third base, second base now, but he can fly a little bit. They got a good young roster, but it's certainly not ready to compete. And we're early in the season. The Pirates they beat up on the same Marlins team to start the year. It's just a wait and see thing.
And we did see the Reds have a stretch where they looked fantastic last year, but I wonder, as the season progresses, I know we made fun of this team, the Cardinals, a lot for bringing in the veteran leadership, but I do think as time goes by, at the end of the year, when you're in August, September, when you really need to buckle down and win those games, I think the veterans, that's when they step up, whether they're playing or whether they're just in the ear of some of these younger guys. I think having that veteran presence within the clubhouse is definitely going to bode well for the Cardinals.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter, and we've got the gauntlet coming up next. So somebody's going to have an opportunity to play Carey, me, or Marsh. We already got somebody. It's our guy. All right, here we go. We got the gauntlet next on 101 ESPN. Check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Super Bowl champion Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. We're inside the Budweiser Brew House at Ballpark Village for Cardinals opening day. Unfortunately, the Marlins just tied the game with a home run. If it is going to be a ding-dong Johnson, though, it might as well come off the bat of a local product. Jake Berger hit the home run, the solo shot against Lance Lynn. He, of course, of CBC. Marsh, you knew him too, right?
Yeah, I grew up playing baseball and hockey with Jake Berger.
Missouri State product as well. So, again, not that we want to see the Marlins tied up, but if they are going to do so, might as well have Jake Berger do it of the Marlins.
It's kind of hard to do the show when I'm watching the game because of my facial expressions. You think I'm talking or looking crazy at you, and I'm looking crazy at Lance Lynn.
So I noticed that yesterday too. You guys were talking, and Carey's just like looking at the screen like, what the hell?
What am I watching?
I knew where he's going. All right, so one of the favorite things that we love about opening day, besides all the pomp and circumstance, of course, is we have our own tradition here in the fast lane. We always take a photo on opening day, the home opener, I should say, the home opener, with our guy Corey and his friends. And Corey is joining us right now live on stage at the Budweiser Brew House for the Gauntlet. What's up, Corey?
How are we doing, guys?
Doing good. So, Corey, have you played in the Gauntlet?
I have not participated yet.
You've never played in the Gauntlet?
I think we had Jose on last year. Jose is also part of the friend group. He was on, I believe he was either 2 years ago or last year.
He took on me.
Did he? Okay.
I think so.
He probably lost.
I remember.
Well, let's check. I can go back and look.
Marsh takes remarkable
great notes. I would have
yeah.
wanted to be next to you in class, Marshy.
Well, I mean, that was school. This is something different.
Something he cares about.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd want to.
Yeah. All right, as Marsh looks that up, Corey,
Sir.
would you like to take on Carey, me, or Marsh today in the Gauntlet?
I kind of want to take on my boy Marsh here.
There you go. Heck yeah. All right, Andrew Marsh. Marsh is going to
I don't know where to go. Yeah, maybe I'll just, like I said earlier,
hover with the fan group over there.
I'll go to the stadium. Yeah, I'll go by the friends over there.
Well, no, you can't. You can't go by the speaker, man.
All right, just text me then.
Yeah, go. You're gonna have
to
go
play
outside
one of those video
Why
games.
don't you go see how many steps it is to
That's
Busch
a great,
Stadium?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Carey's the only one paying attention here. All right, I need a pen.
That would help.
Corey, go ahead and tell Brad. So Bradford Bruns is back in the studio. So go ahead and tell Bradford to spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel, Bradford.
Thank you, Jody. Oh!
Good catch. Good hands.
Good hands, bad arm. So the second baseman. All right, so Bradford's going to have to tell us what we got here.
Corey, with so much attention being given to the Redbirds today, the wheel doesn't want us to forget about the pucks. Let's do that hockey.
Oh, hockey. Uh-oh.
He put his hands on his head.
Corey just put his hand on his head. All right, so give us a second here as we pull up the text message that Bradford just sent us, which we appreciate, Bradford. All right, so Corey, as you know, 4 questions, all hockey today. Marsh is going to get the same 4 questions. Now, unfortunately, Marsh, if there's anything that Marsh knows better than most, it's hockey.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling about you today.
Okay.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Ivan Herrera hit cleanup, and then he took one deep today. I think you, on opening day, you got something special for us.
I think I'm going to need it, but let's go.
No. You're good. You ready?
Yes, I'm
All right, here we go. Question number 1. What year was Scott Perunovich drafted? What year was Scott Perunovich drafted?
I'm going to say 2018.
Final answer?
Yes.
All right, question number 2. Which defenseman was the number 1 overall pick in the 2018 NHL draft?
Oh, goodness.
Now, of course, you can take the options.
I'll take the options on this one.
Is it Rasmus Dahlin, Cale Makar, or Miro Haskinen?
Makar.
Final answer?
Yes.
All right. Question 3, Corey. Which player who was originally drafted by the Blues was selected by Vegas in their expansion draft from the Buffalo Sabres? Which player who was originally drafted by the Blues was selected by Vegas in their expansion draft from the Buffalo Sabres?
I'll take the options.
Was it William Carrier, Chris Thornburn, or John Merrill? Carrier, Thorburn, Merrill.
Let's go Merrill.
Final answer?
Yep.
All right, question number 4. Who is the all-time goal-scoring leader for the Vegas Golden Knights?
I'm gonna ask for the lifeline, the options here. Yeah.
Is it Jonathan Marchessault, William Karlsson, or Mark Stone?
I was gonna say Stone, so let's just go Stone.
All right. We are going to text the one and only Andrew Marsh here. Corey, how you feeling?
Not great.
if you did want a category, what would it be?
Baseball. I was hoping to come up here to give baseball because I know baseball left and right, but it's okay. Dealer's choice. I'll take it and I'll run with it and I'll try my best.
Hockey is difficult.
Hockey is very difficult.
Hockey is difficult.
You know, hockey is difficult just saying the names at times.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Certainly. Yeah.
A lot of consonants and not enough vowels.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or too many vowels sometimes.
Right. What is this word?
I know it's been done, but with that SNL, let's do that hockey.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man. Here is hell no. All right, Andrew Marsh is back from the cone of silence. How many steps, Marsh?
All right, so I didn't do like feet like 1,
Did a
2
normal
like
stride
that
lane.
because I would have looked like an idiot out there. But I did do the steps. You know, every single step was about the same. I had 35.
That was close.
35
I'm
steps.
surprised. From here?
Yes, from the minute
outside the door
the
or
second
from in here?
No, the second I
Second you
stepped
walked
out
out.
of the door, I started counting.
Did you touch brick?
Or did you touch
No,
the
I
fence?
touched the gate.
There you go.
Touch the gate. Okay.
I touched the
All right.
gate.
Good man.
You told me it had to be Zach Edey.
I didn't know. I didn't know. All right, Marsh, you ready?
I'm ready to go.
Go ahead, Carey. Tell him.
Pack a lunch.
Okay.
So the one category I think Corey did not want is hockey,
Oh, boy.
and he got it.
Ah.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, on opening day, too.
On opening
know.
day.
Here in
Marsh,
St. Louis, of course.
are you ready?
I'm ready to go.
Marsh, what year was Scott Perunovich drafted?
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Okay, so it was before 2020, if I'm not mistaken, because that would have been his final year at Duluth, but it got cut short. So he would have been a junior that year. I'm going to go with 2018. Final answer.
Question number 2. Which defenseman was the first overall pick in the 2018 NHL draft?
Oh, wow. I'm going to need the options on that.
Is it Rasmus Dahlin, Cale Makar, or Miro Haskinen?
Let's go with the Buffalo Sabres have been notoriously terrible for quite some time. So let's go with Rasmus Dahlin. Final answer.
All right, Marsh, question number 3. Which player who was originally drafted by the Blues was selected by Vegas in their expansion draft from the Buffalo Sabres?
Oh, wow. So originally drafted by the Blues,
Yep.
and then was on the Sabres, and then the expansion draft.
Which player who was originally drafted by the Blues was selected by Vegas in their expansion draft from the Sabres?
Okay. Wow. For the sake of time, I think I'm going to use the options.
All right. William Carrier, Chris Thorburn, John Merrill.
Oh, wow. I don't remember any of those guys being. I know Thorburn played for the Blues. He was on that Cup team, but I don't think he was drafted by the Blues. And I don't think he went to Vegas either. I guess I'll go with William Carrier. Final answer.
Oh, so not Carrier.
I think it's Carrier.
Remember we were
probably
talking about the
what we were
names
just talking
and
about.
stuff like that?
No. Hockey's hard.
I don't know. Yeah, final answer. I don't know.
I was thinking of Mark Carrier.
Yeah, I remember him too. Question number 4. Who is the all-time goal-scoring leader for the Vegas Golden Knights?
Wow. Wow. They've had a lot of turnover. Could be William Karlsson. Could be. Oh boy, Marcia Show. It's one of those two. I'm gonna go with. Let's take the options.
Jonathan Marchessault, William Karlsson, or Mark Stone.
I'll go with William Karlsson had a pretty decent year early on with Vegas, and he's been a pretty good player for them. I'll go with William Karlsson. Final answer.
All right, here we go. Corey versus Marsh.
Man, this is tough.
Corey live from Ballpark Village here. Just 35, 37 steps, depending on who you are, away from Busch Stadium. Let's go over these. Let's start with that fourth question. Who's the all-time goal-scoring leader for the Vegas Golden Knights? Corey, with the options, you said Mark Stone. Marsh, with the options, you said William Karlsson. Correct answer is?
I got to pull the list up again. That went away. Marchessault.
Jonathan Marchessault.
Oh, damn it.
You had said it was one of those two guys, and you were right.
It was the one you said.
0-0 between Corey and
Used to having the paper
Marsh. Question 1. What year was Scott Perunovich drafted? Marsh, without the options, you said 2018. Corey, without the options, you said 2018.
Oh, nice.
Correct answer is?
2018.
2018. Nice job, guys. So 2-2 tie between Corey and our guy, Marsh. Which player who was originally drafted by the Blues was selected by Vegas in their expansion draft from the Buffalo Sabres? Corey, you went with John Merrill after listening to the options. Marsh, you went with, of course, William Carey. Correct answer is?
William Carey.
William Carey is the correct answer. Marsh with a 1-point lead. Comes down to this. Which defenseman was the #1 overall pick in the 2018 NHL draft? Marsh, with the options, you went with Rasmus Dahlin. Corey, you went with Cale Makar. If it's Cale Makar, we got a walk-off. If it's Rasmus Dahlin or Heiskanen, who's the other option, Marsh wins today. Corey.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
It was Rasmus Dahlin. Sorry, Corey. So
It's
Marsh
okay.
today wins 4-2. Corey, you came out of the gates hot, man.
Good job, man.
We're trying.
You had the 2018, got the +2. I'm like, all right, our guy's here to play today. Unfortunately, Marsh got you on the rest. But, Corey, it's always a pleasure to see you, especially
Always.
on home opener, man.
We'll get that picture in here soon.
There you
we
go.
need
All right,
Jose. He hasn't
absolutely.
showed up yet, right?
Yeah, Jose is supposedly on the way.
All right.
right.
We know Jose will be here.
Oh,
We
yeah.
still have
Always
2
here.
hours, so we're good to go.
Yeah. All right. Hey, enjoy the day.
Appreciate it,
Corey.
guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Marsh, nice job there.
Appreciate it.
Always beating up on incredibly nice
I
nice
know.
guys. Corey,
You-
one of the nicest, and Marsh makes
Keep doing that, man.
quick work of him.
Keep doing it. You know,
Nice job.
He's like the executioner. He really
is.
doesn't really care.
No,
He
doesn't
pretends,
care.
yeah, you're a good guy.
Here, take
This. Take it with you.
An update from Busch Stadium. It is 1-1, bottom of the fourth. Lance Lynn has looked very good today. Did give up the solo home run, unfortunately, to Jake Berger. But otherwise, 4 innings of work for Lance Lynn. 4 hits allowed. Just the 1 run. Has walked 1, but has struck out 7. So he's pumping today. But still a 1-1 tie. The Cardinals got on the board in the second inning when our guy Andrew the Prophet Marsh, a good 20 to 25 seconds before Ivan Herrera touched seats, called that Ivan Herrera would hit a home run.
So yesterday we got a message from the Snake Pit. I believe it was Alex who said that I was the Lisan Al-Gaib from Dune, who
Right.
is,
A prophet.
he has visions, and that's why he said that. So I'm not saying that's who I am, but
But you're saying that's who you are.
No.
I think that's exactly what
you've
he
seen
said.
the movie too. Of course, the guy who's supposed to be said prophet denies that he is, and everyone around him says,
Nah,
that's he's too humble. that means he is the guy.
He's doing that right now.
Yeah.
He's humble.
He's humble. Yeah, Marsh, we get it, okay? We get it. You're the prophet.
I just, I do what I can, Anthony.
Yeah.
All right. It's a
Make
fast
more
lane
predictions.
on 101 ESPN. Are we set up for Jamie or we don't know?
At 5 o'clock.
Oh, 5 o'clock he's going to join us.
Oh, I'm sorry,
now.
at 4:15. You're
Yeah,
right.
4:15.
You're right.
Yeah. All right, so Jamie, we'll try to reach out to Jamie, talk to him about tonight's pivotal matchup for the Blues against the Predators next in the Fast Lane, live from the Budweiser Brewhouse inside Ballpark Village. It's the Fast Lane.
Kickstart
from Ballpark Village here on 101 ESPN. We got to go quick to our guy Jamie Rivers. We went long in the gauntlet, and Jamie only has a couple of minutes for us. But Jamie joins us from Nashville ahead of tonight's big game. Jamie, we're going to jump right into it. Nashville has given this Blues team some trouble. What has to change with this matchup tonight?
Well, you got to control the puck if you're the Blues. That's the one thing that, the Predators do such a good job of pressing the opposition. And you watch them play, not just against the Blues. You watch them play against every team recently. They did a little bit of a 3-game skid here, but they also went on like an 18-game heater where they had points in 18 straight games. And they're a tough opponent to play against. They're big, they're physical, they're in your face, they challenge you. So if you're the Blues tonight, you got to manage the puck properly. You can't turn it over at the blue lines. You got to make sure that you're getting bodies in front of the net. You got to make sure that defensively you're clearing out the front of your net. And you're going to get tested tonight. If you're the Blues, you're going to get tested physically. Nashville's going to be in your face. A lot of talk around the rink today, like this is a playoff game. If you win tonight, then you're only 4 points behind the Predators, which is weird. It's like the goal line changes every other day from Vegas to L.A. Now Nashville could be in our sights as well. So I would expect a playoff atmosphere tonight, and there's going to be some rough play.
Jamie, is there any particular player other than the goaltender that you need or would like to see step up and have a great game for tonight?
Well, lots of players you'd like to see have a great game. I'd love to see Robert Thomas just go off tonight. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see him, be able to put up 2 and 3 points. Obviously, Jordan Carey, you'd like him to be a difference maker. But for me, Carey, really, it comes down to the Blues team overall playing a playoff-style game. I'm not joking. When I tell you this is going to be physical tonight, it's going to be physical. Nashville always plays that way. They play particularly extra physical when they're here at home. The fans are going to be rowdy here in Nashville. This is where you got to put your big boy pants on. So when it comes to picking a specific player that has to step up, for me, it's the whole team. I want to see some team toughness. Take a hit, give a hit. If there's a scrum, all 5 guys are in. This is where you got to prove that you really do want to be a part of the playoffs.
Jamie, you talked about Robert Thomas. Have you gotten a sense of what he feels when he plays against a Ryan O'Reilly, the former captain, the guy that was here for so many years? Have you gotten a sense of kind of his mindset going up against Ryan?
Well, it's not, I didn't have the chance to ask him that particular question, but I have talked to him before about playing against guys like Nathan McKinnon, playing guys like Connor McDavid, and for a young guy, it's a big assignment to play against those guys, and he takes it very serious. He takes it personal, and he loves the challenge. He loves the challenge of outplaying whoever's across from him. And if you look at this year, those games that we've played, some of those top-line center guys, Robert Thomas has played very well, and in most of them, he's outdueled them. He's given them some fits at times. So tonight's going to be no different. Ryan O'Reilly, he's just not going to back off the throttle. He's going to be going 100% the entire game. He's not going to let up. So it's going to test a guy like Robert Thomas or whoever's out there against O'Reilly. It tests you because you have to be willing to play just as hard for the exact same amount of time as Ryan O'Reilly, or he's going to win the battle and make you look silly.
Jamie, before we get to first goal of the game, what other aspect about tonight's game interests you?
Honestly, Staltz, the biggest thing that interests me is I want to see the response. Mm-hmm. I want to see the Blues' response because I've said it 3 times now about how physical this game should be tonight and how physical it will be. I want to see the team push back, and not just Braden Shen and not just Tyler Tucker. I want to see guys that not fight. They don't have to fight, but battle. They get hit. Maybe they get drilled into the boards, and they just keep going. They get to the net front. They get thrown down to the ice in front of the net. They get up, and they keep battling. For me, that's the story of the game tonight is can you outwill the Predators? Because I think talent-wise, both teams are fairly close, give or take on each position. I think you're winning the goaltender battle, even though Soros is a good goalie. But I want to see if this team can compete in the trenches with the Nashville Predators team.
Jamie, last night in Madison Square Garden, the puck was dropped and then gloves were dropped. What did you make of that last night? I thought it was awesome. I just needed the goalies to get involved.
I actually think Shesterkin at one point put his blocker on the ice looking down at the other goaltender, almost like, are we going to do this? And
why not?
Carey, I loved it, man. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. When I saw that the Devils started their heavyweight, Curtis McDermott, and then I saw that the Rangers started Matt Rempe, I thought, okay, well, they're going off the puck drop. Like, there's no doubt about it. This is what's happening. I had no idea that all 5 guys were going to take it upon themselves to get after it. And, like, it was like the little swirly dudes that started it all, too. Like Curtis Lazar and Jim Vesey, these guys, like, they don't ever fight. And they were the first ones fighting. And then everybody else paired off. And then the heavyweights were paired off at center ice at Madison Square Garden. I mean, it might as well have been a heavyweight championship of the world right there in MSG center ice. Like, it doesn't get any better.
Yep.
Jamie, we know that you have to go, so who's your first goal of the game?
Robert Thomas tonight.
There you go. All right. Hey, Jamie, have a great call tonight, man. We miss you down here at Ballpark Village.
Yeah, hey, I need a favor from Marshy, though. I need Marshy to predict a goal scorer, because apparently he's predicting stuff today.
Dude,
He's doing a great job.
that was remarkable.
He's doing a great job.
And we'll see what I have in the bag.
Man, absolutely.
My phone started going off, started going crazy. People texting me,
It was
asking me if Marshy can buy them lottery tickets.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah, there's a couple of people that already stopped by here at Ballpark Village asking me that same question. So,
Yeah.
be good, brother. We'll see you tomorrow.
You got it, brother. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, take care. Actually, we won't. I don't think we will see Jamie tomorrow, will we?
I don't know. I
don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, if he shows up, we'll see him.
You'll
If he
be
doesn't,
surprised. Yeah, we'll be at Centene. Things have gone from bad to worse for Lance Lynn, who gave up the solo shot to Jake Berger in the top of the 4th. He has since, in the top of the 5th, given up a 2-run shot to Josh Bell. Luis Arise was on first, so congratulations to Andrew Marsh, who extended his streak to 5 games now.
I didn't want this to happen.
Then Jake Berger homers again.
Did he hit that one in the Big Mac lane?
I mean, it makes sense.
Oh, no.
Homecoming for the CBC and Missouri State product. Unbelievable. 2 home runs now for Jake Berger, 4-1.
That
4-1.
just happened.
That did. All right.
Do we need our first goals?
So we got Jamie's first goal of the game. Now we're going to get ours. Go ahead, Bradford. Fire it up.
Let's go, boys.
We need you to score more goals.
Get those loose pucks.
Thomas to Carey. Score! Goal!
No big deal. Game winner.
All right, so Robert Thomas is off the board. Who do you got, Marsh?
All right, so I'm actually going to the snake pit here, and our friend John, I asked if he wanted to pick for me. I have not gotten a response yet, so I'm going to go ahead.
Like a Carey Davis visit to Michigan, huh? No call, no show.
Unfortunately, we'll have to go back to John for another game, but I'm going to go with Alexei Toropchenko.
That's my guy.
Toro.
Well, he's my guy now.
He is. Sounds like it.
Gary?
I'm going to the well again. Jake Neighbors, he stands in front of that net. Good things happen. I'm going to start doing that with the baseball picks as well. Clearly, me going all over the board is terrible.
I'll just take Braden Shen since Alexei Toropchenko was taken from me. So Braden Shen is my call for first goal of the game. 4-1. Marlins up on the Cardinals now as Lance Lynn deteriorating right there on the mound. Not great, not great
Still
at all.
standing there. I don't think he's not dwindling away.
Yeah.
It's not like in game.
No, it's not. Let's play hot take or hot garbage next on 101 ESPN.
Coverage of
By Holiday World and Splash and Safari. Feast on fun this summer with the all-new Good Gravy roller coaster.
Boom! Hot take!
That's right, time to play Hot Take or Hot Garbage here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We are live from Budweiser, the Budweiser Brewhouse inside Ballpark Village, just 37 steps away from Busch Stadium. Marsh measured that out during the gauntlet today. Our opening drive is brought to you by, our opening day sponsorship, I should say, is brought to you by Budweiser, Holiday World and Splash and Safari, and Swiss Air Heating and Cooling. Marsh, what do we got for Hot Take or Hot Garbage?
All right, this one comes from Thanks Dad. Hot Take or Hot Garbage, the Lance Linning still exists.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to debate that at this juncture, Carey.
Well, how many home runs did he give up last year?
A ton.
Okay.
Yep,
Gave up 3 today.
Two to Jake Berger already.
2 in 1 inning.
2 in 1 inning. Back-to-back ones to
back-to-back jacks.
Jake Berger in the innings.
Yeah.
4th and 5th.
That's got to be a really cool feeling for him, though.
No, really, yeah.
That's awesome.
Coming back home? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, CBC product, Jake Berger, absolutely.
Now, how many times did you play in the Dome?
As a pro, 1 time.
One time?
But in college, we played here twice against the Mizzou Tigers.
Yeah.
In high school, I played here. I played in the Dome 4 times. As we played our season opener there, and then we won state my senior year. So
attaboy.
I got to play a lot at the Dome.
Now, did you score a touchdown? How many touches did you get in that game to where you're like, this is cool, I'm back playing
in
the
high
Dome
school,
as a pro?
I scored a couple of touchdowns. In the league, I had a couple of catches, had some big plays. We had a really good game. We won.
Yeah.
Willie Parker broke his ankle that game. Wasn't a great game for him.
Ouch.
He was a leading rusher, and I was his fullback. He was doing really great.
Did you get to
I
play
got 2
tailback
carries.
afterwards?
Najee took over at tailback, and I played a little bit of tailback. But yeah, it was. But we got the win. And it was Christmas Eve, so I stayed here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow,
Like,
that's cool.
Mike T, hey, Christmas Eve. I'm going to fly back in a couple of days. Go ahead.
Nice.
Did you, have guys over or
I had, well, I didn't have a house here. I was in my second year, so I would just stay at my mother's house. But I had like 25, 30 people at the game.
That's awesome.
That I had to. Not really when you got to pay for tickets. Yeah.
NFL will get you.
Oh, yeah. You got to pay for the tickets.
Yeah.
About
I
30
always
people.
forget about that.
So, yeah. And I told my family, if you root for the Rams, you must go.
Yeah.
My mother was the enforcer of that. My father, hey, you're cheering for the Steelers.
Yeah.
You're sitting all the way the hell up here. The hell you doing?
So don't they give you some tickets, or is that only
you
for
get
the
2
Super-
tickets. Then you got to buy the rest.
Oh, man. Well, the ironic thing about that is that the Rams were the team that ended up leaving and not your parents. So,
Unfortunately.
Marsh, that was funny, but it still hurts.
Yeah. Well, we have a new football team here in town, the Battlehawks from the 618. Hot take or hot garbage, the Battlehawks will win a championship, and St. Louis will get another NFL team before the Cardinals win another World Series.
Hot garbage.
Wow, so the Battlehawks winning a championship and the NFL getting St. Louis getting an NFL team?
Yeah, before the Cardinals win a World
double
Series.
combo there? I got to go hot garbage on that. I can see the Battlehawks winning. If you just stop there,
I mean,
I'm in.
Is the NFL going to be here before October of 2024?
No.
That's when the World Series coming, huh?
Carey.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
You like that?
I do.
You like that?
You like that? By the way, the Cardinals just scratched across a run.
Yeah, scratching
Yeah.
and clawing, baby.
Got one back, 4-2 now on an infielder's choice by the one and only Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, Michael Cera scored.
He did, yeah.
He got hit by a pitch, got on base.
I've noticed that a lot of the Cardinals' runs have come from the other team screwing up. now, there's 2 ways to look at that. One, you're getting lucky.
Taking advantage.
Or 2, you're taking advantage. Or the other one is
forcing the action.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're forcing.
Are they lucky, or are they just,
they're great.
They're doing what they're given.
How many wins did the Marlins have this year?
0.0.
That's not great.
All right. From the 618.
I don't like bad baseball. I just don't.
What happened just now?
Don't make
Was it a hit and run?
No. It might have been.
He wasn't running hard.
Well, he didn't swing at it either, so.
So there's that.
Come on, Anthony. There's only one team in Major League Baseball that could screw up a hit and run. It's the team they're playing right now.
Oh, I don't know. It looked like maybe us.
Good news is we got Nolan Arenado up.
Well, also good news is there's a runner on second.
That's where I was going with that, Marsh.
No chance for a double play here, huh?
We don't rule it out. Don't rule it out now. From the 618 hot take or hot garbage, it's time to take Walker out for defense because of trust issues and whatever.
I'm okay with it.
I don't like it.
But you're banged up.
I don't like taking him out. How do you get better? How do you I mean, he's showing that he's gotten better. He just made a great catch in right field. I don't know if he robbed a home run, but he jumped up to make it. He made a great catch against the Dodgers earlier in the season. Was it Padres?
Yeah, he went at the
last
dive
series.
Monday. Yep.
And so, I think you allow him to continue to grow in that role. And then if he's hitting well, which obviously he's not doing a great job right now. My pick, did I pick him? Get down, ball.
Oh, wow.
Oh, right. Not a double play, just a double, sir.
Yeah.
Huh?
Probably should have been an out, but,
I don't know what he was doing.
He did it yesterday, too, against the Angels.
Who is that, Tyler O'Neill out in left field?
That's Marcel Ozuna.
No, it's not Ozuna.
climbing the fence and the ball dropping.
Marlin Ozuna.
20 feet in front
it's
of
Gordon.
Gordon Graceffo?
No.
Gordon Bombay?
No.
Alex Gordon?
No relation to any of those guys. Gordon has played it either way. It's going to be a double for Nolan Arenado. It's now 4-3 Marlins, and there's only one out. So base hit could tie this thing.
There you go.
Let's do one more here from Sam, a.k.a. Grant Francis Fan Club. Hot take or hot garbage, Jake Neighbors is the next captain of your St. Louis Blues.
I think that's a hot take.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just watching him, understanding, what is needed for the team. He seems like a guy that players gravitate towards and they respect. And that's a really hard thing to have when you're a young player. Normally, you're the young guy, shoo away. Us veterans are over here talking. But he seems like one of the guys that the veterans lean in and have a high respect for. And he plays the game the right way. That's the most important part. You can be all of those things, but if you stink, nobody cares. He's scoring goals. He's tied for the team lead in goals scored. And he just does everything that they ask him to do and does it at a high level and does not shy away from anything. So I agree with that.
Who was it that was telling us a couple of days ago that Jake Neighbors they were talking about something fun. I don't know if it was movies or something.
Oh, I think it was Joe Vitale.
Joe Vitale was
telling us about
talking
about like superheroes.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I'm
actually shocked that you weren't in the locker room, Anthony.
I wasn't asked, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Anytime the Blues want me to come in and talk about Marvel movies and maybe some missteps by the Marvel Universe for not getting the Winter Soldier more involved, especially on the Avengers, I'm in.
Here's an interesting question for you, Carey. Were there any players when you were in the locker room as a veteran that sort of not were disgusted, but just like were a little rubbed the wrong way because a young player did come in and had like that veteran presence? Did some players get annoyed of that? Because I think that's a bad attitude to have, but I feel like
it depends on how they come in. Like if you come in respectfully, and normally it's not going to be a younger player because a younger player in the NFL locker room, he's going to be quiet, generally speaking.
Right.
D'Angelo Hall was probably one of those guys that pissed some people off. We were both rookies in Atlanta, and he just kind of had a brash way about him.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
He's
a hell of a DB for a long time in the NFL, but some of the veterans didn't take well to it at times. So, they kind of gave him a little bit. But normally, as a rookie, if you're not a first-round pick, you come in there and just trying to fit in. Sometimes it could be a guy that is, signed in the offseason or traded for, that they come in. There was a particular person in Atlanta that signed a pretty big contract that came in from a well-known organization and tried to bring some of those philosophies to that room. And the guys were like, yeah, hell no. Hey, get the hell out of my face. Yeah, no, don't do that. So, it
Probably
happened.
why they didn't.
He didn't play long there.
Play well. Yeah.
He didn't play long there.
Was it Ed Big contract, came from a winning organization, Baltimore, and did not play long in Atlanta.
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it was Ed. I don't know.
That was a big deal when they signed him.
How are you?
How are you?
It was. They did not want to hear that. This is not Ray Lewis.
It's too bad, man, because they probably could have benefited from it.
Maybe.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Why don't we give you an update here on the Cardinals-Marlins game, tell you what has happened and transpired to this point, who's had a good day, who's had a bit of a rough day. That's all next here on 101 ESPN. It's a fast lane from Budweiser Brewhouse inside Ballpark Village. The show today brought to you by Budweiser, Holiday World and Splash and Safari, and Swiss Air Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals trail the Marlins right now 4-3. Of course, the Marlins haven't hit for you-know-what. And they came in today, and well, just as we speak, they just scored another run, make it 5-3 on a pass ball. The Marlins have 9 hits on the day. They've got 3 home runs, 2 by local product Jake Berger. The Cardinals had rallied in the bottom of the 5th inning to cut into the deficit to make it 4-3. But now, again, a pass ball has, or a wild pitch. That was a wild pitch. That wasn't a pass ball. I'm not going to put that on Herrera. Wild pitch has made it 5-3 now, Marlins.
Let's just say the Cardinals end up losing this game 5-3, right? Pretty tight game. Would you rather them just get blown out, much like last season, or lose these like very close games throughout the year?
I always take the close games.
Just because of the entertainment value as a fan?
Yeah. I mean, it's frustrating, don't get me wrong, but I want to see this team. Even though we all know that this isn't a World Series contender, I still want to see this team compete.
Right.
Last year sucked.
It was bad.
No shot at the playoffs, no nothing.
I would rather not lose, Marshy, if I'm going to pick. I know that wasn't one of your options.
It was not actually an option at all, but
I don't know,
we'll
man.
throw it on there.
I would say we talked about what this team needed, right? And it all starts with the starting pitching. If Lance Lynn is going to give up 3 home runs and put you behind the 8 ball, in the 4th or 5th inning, you're probably going to struggle if you're not already ahead. And so that was one of the concerns. And again, it's one game, and we can do this all season long. We can critique every single game, every single start. Eventually, after about 7-8 starts, we'll have enough of a body of work to know exactly what the expectations are. But you also had a body of work last year from some of these guys, and it wasn't great. Now, Kyle Gibson came out and did a fantastic job. And he did pretty good last year, but he did a fantastic job in his first start. Lance Lynn, we don't know what his first start was because he got pulled out, but because of the rain delay.
Yeah.
And you even mentioned that, it was good-ish, but he loaded the bases and had to fight his way to get out of that inning, which he did, which is a wonderful thing. But
you don't want to be in that spot.
You don't want to be in that spot. And so today, a couple of home runs in, 3 home runs, and you're looking at it and trying to figure out, well, what does this team need? It all starts with starting pitching. If you don't get 6 innings, if you can get 7 innings, you're probably going to win that game. And if not, you're going to rely on the bullpen, or you're going to be pulled because you're already down by a lot of runs.
Well, speaking of what Carey's talking about, Lance Lynn 4 2/3, scattered 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks. I had mentioned he was humming, and he was.
Yeah.
He had the 7 Ks before all the damage occurred. He had like I said, he had scattered 4 hits. He had only allowed the 1 solo shot. You're going to give up, if you're a high strikeout pitcher, you're going to be in and around the strike zone. You're going to give up some home runs. But you can't give up 3 bombs in the course of 2 innings and expect that your team's going to constantly rally. Now, hopefully, there's still plenty of time. You're just going into the bottom of the 6th. Cardinals are only down 2. This is where your offense, while banged up, should be able to attack this Marlins bullpen that has struggled. But we'll see. I mean, the Marlins haven't won a game yet.
No, they haven't. Have we gotten to the point where where are we at on Matthew Liberatore?
Well, I don't like it when he's spiking balls into the.
Yeah, he overcooked that one.
Yeah.
It bounced a couple of feet in front of Herrera.
Mm-hmm.
But we're like in the grand scheme of things. Do we trust him? Do we?
I think he's.
Are we still wait and see?
I think he's a fine bullpen option that the Cardinals should be looking to upgrade. You know what I mean?
But
like Andre Palante, they should be looking to upgrade.
Right. I would even say the same thing with Zach Thompson.
I would say the same thing about Zach Thompson.
He's in the
they're kind of in
rotation,
the same boat.
Yeah.
But like these young pitchers that the Cardinals have, like they're fine. Like that's just it. They're fine.
Fast lane fine.
They're fast lane fine.
They're fast lane fine. But like Anthony said, you need to look to upgrade these guys. And I think that's what the big question was in the offseason of which young pitcher is going to emerge for this team. And right now, I haven't seen anybody. Matthew Liberatore has not done anything for me. Zach Thompson hasn't done anything for me. He was okay last year. He was fine in spring training. But this is a new year. Like, what have you done for me lately type thing. That's how a lot of fans look at it. Yeah. I don't know. I also think that maybe I'll have to switch my tune. Instead of going game by game with like frustrations and the highs and lows, I think we should just judge this team based off how they do in a series.
Yeah, that's true too.
Because if you can win a series for the course of a season, like that will end up being a good thing.
That's all Tony La Russa wanted to do. He wanted to win a series. And if you win enough series when it's all said and done, you're going to be okay when by the end of the season. They won the Padres series. Obviously, they didn't win the Dodgers series. Off to a rough one, rough start right now. But again, it's only 5-3. They can certainly rally. All right, we got our Sports Six-Pack next. If you got a question for us, you can send it to the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack next.
Blues alumni. Bait and 16-year warranty on a new HVAC system at SwissAirSTL.com.
I have a question.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
5:05, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. It's the Fast Lane, broadcasting inside the Budweiser Brew House at Ballpark Village. Our opening day show is brought to you by Budweiser, Holiday World, and Splash and Safari, as well as Swiss Air Heating and Cooling. With Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter, and here is our guy Andrew Marsh with your questions for the Sports Six-Pack.
Question number 1.
All right, this one's a good one from the 636. My question of the day is, and by the way, I'm going to have to make this appropriate, but hey, texter from the other day that wanted an apology for Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson. Hey, texter, does Anthony still owe Long Ball Lance a blank apology?
I don't know. I don't think so. He gave up 3 today.
Yeah.
You might have been right on spot, on par with what you were saying. You were the Marshy of that day. You predicted this.
Oh, I don't know if I want that on my conscience.
I kind of think. Listen, I don't think it mattered.
That's true. Yeah. It is funny though, right? Like I was struggling. I was struggling that day with the concept of like, Lance Lynn was excellent. No, he wasn't.
He wasn't excellent.
He pitched 4 innings, and there was a rain delay, which, by the way, who knows what he does past the 4th inning, because we saw today that, he didn't make it past the 5th inning.
Credit him. He didn't give up a run. You're not supposed to when you're pitching.
Is that the goal?
That is the goal. But what do we talk about? Yeah, that's the goal.
Sometimes watching this team is hard to tell.
Carey. But we talked about it with Miles Michaelis in that opening series. He doesn't pitch deep into the game. Mm-hmm. He gives up a bunch of runs. Bullpen gets fractured throughout, and you wind up losing the game on Sunday because your bullpen was a little tired. So, I don't know. I know that I expect that Lance Lynn is going to be fine this year. I do. I expect him to be what he is. Today, cruised through 3 innings, and then the wheels fell off in the 4th and 5th. But Lance Lynn's going to give up home runs. Is he going to give up 3 like he did today, or is he going to give up 1 with 10 strikeouts?
I hope not. Not
today
3.
Was rough.
Yeah.
Question 2, please.
Question number 2.
This one is a 3-part question from the 314. Who will be the biggest bright spot for the Cards? Who will be the biggest letdown for the Cards? And who will be the biggest surprise for the Cardinals?
So let's just do this based off of what we're seeing right now. I think the biggest letdown for the Cards this year might be Jordan Walker. I know.
You hush your mouth.
Shut
your mouth, Anthony. Anthony, you hush your mouth. I don't want to hear that.
I think,
but it's not great right now.
No.
Oh, no. You know what? How about Nolan Gorman?
Yeah, that's a good one too, man. Gorman 0 for 2 today. Walker's hitting 174. Gorman's hitting 179. Neither have touched seats. Walker.
It's the first week of the season.
I know, but if we're going to be asked this question, we're projecting, right?
At what point do we? I mean, obviously not the first week, but at what point do we say, okay, yeah, that's what it is? 3 weeks, a month.
Probably Flag Day.
Let's go through the
mid-June.
Let's go with Claves.
Flag Day.
Let's go with Claves' Flag Day.
Which June 14th?
June
Nobody knows.
14th. Yeah.
Claves is the only one that knows when Flag Day is.
June 14th.
June 14th? All right.
Yeah.
It's way too early. But again, if we're gonna make some projections here, I'll go.
Okay, read the whole thing again.
We have biggest bright spot, biggest letdown, and biggest surprise.
Okay, so
biggest bright
biggest
spot.
letdown. I'll unfortunately go with
Jordan Walker.
I'll go Nolan Gorman for now.
All right.
My biggest letdown. I mean, I probably heading into this game, it would have been Nolan Arenado, but he stepped up and drove a run home today. Maybe Zach Thompson. Yeah, I know he gave up 3 runs yesterday, and that's fine.
Yeah. It's not fine, but
I thought having an opportunity like he has with Sonny Gray out, this is your time to push somebody else out of the rotation, and he hasn't done enough to warrant that, for me at least.
Yeah. All right, so the biggest
surprise?
Biggest surprise or best?
So we have bright spot and surprise left.
Bright spot will be Ivan Herrera.
Yeah, that's what bright spot. Mason Wynn. Or actually, no, I'll use that as a surprise because heading into the year, I don't think a lot of us thought that he'd be hitting as well as he has, at least this early.
Surprise, I'll go. How about Kyle Gibson?
Okay.
Pitches significantly better than we thought. And it's not like anybody was really down on Kyle Gibson, but everybody was just like, okay. But I think that Kyle Gibson gives you a really professional start every 5 days. He winds up being the biggest surprise.
I know he's only had one start, but I'm Steven Matz.
Okay.
I predicted him to pitch 27 games this year. Start. Not pitch. Start 27 games this year.
And that would have been that would shatter a Cardinal high for him.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant in general. I'm like,
no, just for him.
Had a few guys
in a Cardinals uniform. Question 3.
Question number 3.
From the teams in the NFL, is it because the draft pick, do they contribute sooner?
Well, okay, wait a second. So I feel like there's two different things here. Are we talking about young players?
So I think what the question that, at least how I'm interpreting it, is that let's use a team for an example, the Houston Texans. They've went from one of the worst teams in the league to one of the best teams in the league last year. Now they're projected to be even better than what they were last year, and that came within a span of a year and a half. Whereas it takes other teams in Major League Baseball to upgrade a little bit. It takes them longer. And so I think you can, what the texter's asking is, why is that? Is it because the draft picks contribute quicker than draft picks in Major League Baseball?
Well, Andrew, it's because the NFL teams try. That's simple.
Wow.
Yeah. Major League Baseball, if you're a bad team, you're not trying.
Yeah.
You don't give a damn. You don't give a damn about your fans. You don't give a damn about your players. You don't give a damn about nothing. Right?
Yeah.
You're the Oakland Athletics. You're going to go play in Sacramento?
Ugh.
You're telling me you give a damn about anything? So, yeah, that's why the Houston Texans can get better faster.
Yeah.
Because baseball, if they're the bottom teams, they don't care. They're not trying hard enough. Now, some teams, I do think the development part of it is part of it as well.
Yeah.
Baseball takes a little bit longer to develop into being a good player.
Yeah.
You can spend 3-4 years in the minors before you're major league ready, which I guess is essentially the same as going to college if you are a college player in football. But I also think that once they get there, it's more time to be MLB fully developed as opposed to when you get to the NFL from college, and if you're a first-round pick, you're expected to play a lot of snaps.
I think the second part of that question, and you just kind of touched upon it, Carey, the second part of that question is spot on. The Houston Texans turned their franchise around because of two men, D'Amico Ryans and C.J. Stroud.
Right.
And there's no position in baseball that like quarterback where you can turn around the entire franchise with the right guy.
Because it's an individual sport, essentially.
It
Well, it is a team sport.
Yeah.
You're competing individually.
Even Mike Trout may be involved in 6 plays a game. C.J. Stroud's got the ball in his hand every play
Every snap.
offensively. So there's just no position like that that's going to be able to flip the script as quickly. And to Carey's point, it's going to take a lot longer for you to, even if you're an impactful player, it's going to take a lot longer for you in Major League Baseball to potentially make an impact. All right, why don't we carry over the Sports Six-Pack? We'll get to the next 3 questions here on 101 ESPN, live from Ballpark Village inside the Budweiser Brew House.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is now.
Live from Ballpark Village inside the Budweiser Brewhouse, it's the Fast Lane presented by Budweiser, Holiday World, and Splash and Safari, as well as Swiss Air Heating and Cooling. Continue our Sports Six Pack with question 4, please.
Question number 4.
All right, guys, so last segment in the first part of our Sports Six Pack, we mentioned Jordan Walker being one of the biggest letdowns so far, biggest disappointments for the Cardinals so far this season. Got a question from the 314. Have we overhyped Jordan Walker? He doesn't seem to be making adjustments at the plate.
Carey, I know that you're a staunch defender of Jordan Walker.
Yeah.
You did not like how they sent him down last year.
No.
I think there was a reason why they did it, though. And when you're beating the ball into the ground consistently, even when the ball is finding holes, there might be something going on with your swing. Look, he's a young hitter.
Right.
I made this point yesterday. He did not have a AAA season. I know he went to AAA last year, but he did not face AAA pitching throughout an entire year.
Right.
That would, in some respects, it'd be like, us going from the 3rd grade to the 5th grade.
Right.
And it being expected to produce right away.
Yeah.
Even though we blazed through the 3rd grade, we got a month of 4th grade. They lifted us to 5th grade and was like, hey, you need to know this, right away. He's got the ability. But big league pitchers are going to find your holes consistently. Now, to the question about whether or not he's going to make adjustments, he's a smart kid. He's got the coaching around him. He's got guys like Goldschmidt and Arenado and Contreras. I have to imagine that he will. But we do have to be a little patient here.
Yeah, I think he'll make the adjustments. I think he'll be able to figure out what he does well, what he doesn't well, how to stay off of that slider that is a way that he loves to chase after. And eventually he'll come around and start doing the things that we expect him to do. Again, as you said, he's a younger player. It's going to take some time.
Yeah.
You want to be patient. And eventually, again, I think he'll figure it out. But it is a little bit alarming that he's still chasing the same pitches that he was chasing last season. That's a bit of a concern. So hopefully that's something that he can get corrected sooner rather than later.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm frustrated watching him. I just said, I hope I'm wrong, but maybe based on what we've seen, maybe he winds up being kind of the letdown this year. I hope I'm wrong. A lot of time to go here. Doesn't look great out of the gates, but he's got a high baseball IQ. I think he'll make the adjustments and he'll be fine. Question 5, please.
Question number 5.
From the 618. And, guys, obviously we are here at Ballpark Village for opening day here in St. Louis.
Yeah, we are.
This one's for Carey. Carey, which city in the NFL had the best opening weekend?
Oh, man, you know what? I got to play in New England in 2004. Would that be after the year they won the championship?
Yes. Yeah.
So my rookie year, 2004, Thursday night football. That was an electric environment. Like, as a rookie, first game, I thought that was really, really, really cool. So, I think each team, especially if you're coming off of a Super Bowl win, that's always a great time. So, that to me is when you can play and to play in somebody else's home. Now we lost that game. I still remember there's one particular play where we had worked on and a particular player forgot to do what he's supposed to do and would have been wide open for a touchdown to win, but he didn't. It happens, and we lost. But still a great environment, great moment for me. Like I said, it's my first NFL game ever.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty cool.
So out of all the teams that you played on, which of the teams were?
Well,
I'm
Pittsburgh.
just gonna assuming Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Season opener.
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh is like you're ready to roll. I tell people this all the time. Now they were normally day games, so early in the day, like noon. Well, Pittsburgh, we didn't play the 1 p.m. game. We were the 4 o'clock game, 4:15. But the night games in Pittsburgh, like driving into the stadium, it's so cool because it's almost like a high school town. You read about Friday night lights in certain towns where everything is shut down. They're either at the stadium or at home. It was like that. Like you could drive into the stadium at 5 o'clock on a Sunday or 4 o'clock on a Sunday, and not really a lot of traffic. People are already tailgating. They're getting ready
That's great.
for Pittsburgh for Steeler football at 7 p.m. So that was always pretty cool. Just driving in, not having much restriction to get where you need to go, especially if you're running a little late. You know, oh God. But yeah, it was always like that for night games. People were at home or at tailgating, glued in to Steeler football.
That's great.
By the way, we got a text from Thanks Dad. In quote, big league pitching is going to find your holes eventually, Anthony Stalter. In quote, well said, Anthony, Jamie Rivers.
I can almost picture Jamie going, well done. Thanks, Dad. Yeah, I can almost picture Jamie going, well said, Anthony. And then him going like this, and then going. You have no idea what I just did on the radio, but if you're watching in the snake bit, you did. Yeah. Jamie's a perv, I think is what we're saying. Question 6, please.
Question number 6.
All right, from the 618, what is the worst theme night or lamest theme night that you guys have been to?
I don't know if I've been to any lame theme nights.
I wouldn't say it's lame because there are a lot of people that put a lot of hard work into coming up with those things and getting those things prepared.
Like Rizzuto's show night at the hockey game.
That's a tough one, you know.
Not great. Didn't go great. No.
Well, just, you know.
Not great.
Out of all the theme nights, do you really want to go with that one? I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay, what about giveaway then?
Lamest. I'm a person that if it's free, it's me. So I'm not turning it down. If I don't want it, I just won't grab it. But if it's something that is free, what the hell am I going to complain for? You just showed up. Well, I guess it's not free. You bought a ticket. But I just bought a ticket and you gave me something.
That's nice.
Thank you.
I will say going to a game and like getting something somewhat big that I can't just like hold in my hand really. I mean, I guess I could hold it in my hand, but like, for instance, like a bobblehead. Like, I like bobbleheads growing up. I don't need a bobblehead. Like, what am I going to do with a bobblehead?
What if it's a Scott Rowland bobblehead?
Or a Brad Thompson bobblehead. I've got one of them.
Do you?
Yeah, right. I was there for BT night. BT bobblehead night.
That's a different story.
Albert Pujols bobblehead.
Yeah, different story.
What are we doing here?
Like, man, I walk in like, hey, here's a bobblehead. I'm like, oh, fantastic. Now I got to carry this around for 3 hours.
So you're saying Andre Palante's bobblehead is not one you would want to carry around?
I don't think you're grabbing that one.
Probably not.
You're going to grab it. You're going to get the collection.
Like a Matthew Liberatore one. I'd probably throw it into the ground and go past the catcher or something like that.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
Morris?
All I can think of now is basketball when they
I haven't seen that movie.
Really? Have you seen basketball?
Yeah, long time ago.
They screw something up. Just so you know the premise of basketball, right?
Yes, I do.
It's guys from South Park. Yeah, it's guys from South Park that create this game. It's almost like a game of horse, but they wound up like being professional with it. And one of them screws up the game, and they said, "Oh no, not on whatever it was, like hot dog night or something like that." And they just get pelted. There's something worse than that, but now that's all I can think about.
Did people actually used to throw tomatoes at performers?
I think so.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's a very good question. We need a historian. You know who would know that? Matthew Rocchio.
He would.
He knows a lot about history. Some of it I don't know how he knows.
Yeah. And sometimes he tells us without us even asking.
Yeah, you don't have to ask all the time.
No,
he's very well read.
Wind up and go, man. He is a wealth of knowledge.
He is. I do love that. Like, Rocchio knows. You can ask him anything historical.
And it's off the top of his head, too.
Doty got an answer. What do you got, Doty?
Oh, Doty. Our engineer expert. Throwing it out there. First Little Rascals mention of the broadcast.
I was about to say I would love friend of the show, Josh Ennis, to just be in a room together with Matthew Rocchio and see what happens. But then I realized that they were on the balloon party earlier this week.
How did that go?
I didn't get to watch today.
There's no way that either of them heard anything the other said. You know what I mean?
Not a chance.
They're looking at each other and they're just talking.
Not a chance. Yeah. No thought was completed.
No
sentence was finished. It was just two people telling you what they thought about what they were thinking in that moment, and nobody gave a damn about the other.
No question.
I don't know. I was watching the YouTube. I was watching on YouTube the other day, and they were just rattling off people's names, and I'm like, I've never heard of any of these people or any of these shows or any of these things. Maybe that's just on me.
Yeah.
But it was very entertaining.
It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. Cardinals might have something cooking here in the bottom of the 7th. We'll provide an update and talk about the game next on 101 ESPN.
I got the 2 home run balls I hit in the World Series.
And 101 ESPN is broadcasting live
Well, how about that development?
inside Ballpark Village.
Good
Our
catch,
Cardinals
Bradford.
home opener coverage.
Twisted my head. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You can tell Bradford Bruns, who's doing a great job in the 101 ESPN studios, as we're on remote today. You can tell Bradford Bruns is a total pro. He was breaking things down. He was talking about the Cardinals trailing, and then he looked over and he goes, "Oh, wait a minute. Cardinals now on top." That's right. Cardinals are up 6-5 after a rough outing by Lance Lynn. Actually, it started off very well. He cruised through the first 3 innings, then gave up a home run to Jake Berger. As Bradford told you, the local product from CBC. That tied the score after Ivan Herrera had homered in the second inning for the Cardinals. Josh Bell hit a 2-run home run to make it 3-1 in the top of the 5th. Berger came up again in the 5th inning and smacked another solo shot to make it 4-1. But since that point, the Cardinals have rallied here. Paul Goldschmidt had an RBI ground out to make it 4-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Arenado with a double to left to make it 4-3. Marlins got one of those runs back in the top of the 6th to make it 5-3. Then the wheels fell off for Miami's bullpen. We talked about the bullpen struggles for Miami a little bit earlier in the show. Well, it has showed up again today. Herrera single to center in the bottom of the 7th. Goldschmidt scored on that. Arenado got to second, then scored after Nolan Gorman doubled up the middle. He advanced to second on the throw home. Herrera and Arenado both scored. It is 6-5 now in the bottom of the 7th, and the Cardinals still threatening with a runner on third and Alec Burleson up. So this is completely turned around, boys. But this is part of the excitement with the offense, right? We talk about this team, even though they're banged up at Carey, they got more than enough elements to make this thing go.
Definitely, and you've been waiting on Nolan Gorman to do something that would excite you. Finally got a good hit, was able to score a couple of runs to get the second.
I think he heard you saying that he was going to be the biggest disappointment of the year.
It's possible. I mean, they do listen to us in the dugout when they're
and we appreciate that. Thanks,
We do appreciate it. They stay tuned in, as should you. So, he did listen in and finally got it done. And so hopefully our bullpen can finish the game out, not allow any more runs.
Ivan Herrera has looked pretty damn
really
good
job.
these past few days, and I wonder what the Cardinals will do with him and Wilson Contreras when he's healthy. Is Contreras the DH? Is Herrera the DH? Like that, his bat plays. You need him in the lineup every day if he's going to be swinging the stick like this.
The only,
which means he won't.
And the only problem, and we almost saw it yesterday. If the two had been swapped, the only problem is that if Herrera's the DH and Contreras gets hurt behind the dish, or vice versa, you lose the DH. So that's the only potential issue. Alec Burleson singles to bring home Gorman. It is now 7-5 Redbirds in the bottom of the 7th. So this thing is completely turned around in the bottom of the 7th there. But that's the only issue. Otherwise, Marsh, I'm with you. I don't know how you feel, Carey. I play the guys that are hitting, man. You're banged up. Ivan Herrera's stick is playing.
So if you put Ivan Herrera in every day, who's out?
I don't care.
All right.
I actually like that response. Yeah, I like that response a lot.
Doesn't matter.
Right now it would be Alec Burleson because Burleson has been your DH unless Contreras is there.
Got you.
Right?
I was thinking maybe Gorman, depending on what he's looking like, or maybe it's day to day.
Well, so let's play this thing out, right? If Contreras is your catcher and Herrera is your DH, you still got Arenado
Would you rather flip that though? Would you rather have Contreras DHing and Herrera catching?
Well, maybe depending on the pitcher. If Kyle Gibson has a great rapport with Wilson Contreras, he's behind the plate. If Ivan Herrera's got, obviously Ivan Herrera and Lance Lynn, that battery mate didn't really work out today. So to me, I don't necessarily think it matters at this point. It's whatever the pitcher is comfortable with. But again, let's play this out. So your infield would stay the same. It would still be Arenado, Wynn, Gorman or Donovan at second, Goldschmidt at first, and then either Herrera or Contreras
behind the plate.
And then the other one would DH. You'd have Victor Scott in center, Walker in right, and then Donovan in second if he's healthy. Or in left, if he's healthy. Got another.
That's a triple.
Oh,
Wynn,
for sure.
Wynn just, we'll have to see how they score it, but Wynn just slashed one to right field. Goes off the right fielder's glove.
That's why you should play every day, Anthony.
Going back to that,
and Burleson just scored, so
yeah,
Wynn's at third.
So
Burley was chugging around that third base too.
So BK and Ferrario had Michael Gershon today, and they asked him that question about young players, and I don't think they specifically said Mason Wynn. I think it was just the young players, basically Mason Wynn, and why they are getting days off.
I'm sorry, March. These Marlins outfielders are terrible.
They're not
They're
good. Jazz
terrible.
Chisholm
They've given up
Yeah.
some hits and some runs. I mean, right, Tony? Tony's laughing his rear end off because he's loving it for the Cardinals.
They haven't won a game yet.
Holy smokes. This Marlins outfield is terrible.
Yeah, not great.
So Gersh was on.
He was on BK and Ferrario, and they asked him the question about basically Mason Wynn. Why did he not play yesterday, or why did he not start?
Yeah.
And it was just to get some of the veterans some at bats. It's been a while since spring training. Get them involved early on in the year, which I get.
I don't.
But this guy is swinging the stick. Like, get a hot start for the season. Last year was terrible. We want a hot start. This guy helps you win.
Yeah.
And yesterday, they might win that game if he's actually playing shortstop.
Yes.
Yeah, good point. Yep. No, we want hot sticks, and we want to ride the hot guy.
Yeah,
okay.
we do.
All right,
Carey?
No,
that's what Marsh said. I agree with him.
Well,
we want hot sticks. We want to ride the hot guy.
You two can. I won't watch. I'll just listen. I won't listen either, actually. I won't be there.
That's worse. That's worse.
Hey, what's it called when people love just like sound effects? They don't like it's just like it gets them going. They just love
the text
sound
line will let us
effects.
know.
Yeah, that's called FXers.
No,
FXers?
FXers.
That's the people that watch FX.
Yeah,
the movies.
they watch all the
my
FX
bad.
shows.
Because FX does have the movies.
Yeah.
I think the text line will help us out, but that's what Carey is.
I know what they're. They're the THXers. That's what they are. They're the THXers. That's what they're called.
I don't think that's it either.
No?
We got a text from the 314. I want to ride the hot guy so badly.
Thank you.
I agree. Mason Wynn has been unbelievable. And so has Ivan Herrera today, the young guys. Definitely want to keep them in the
Yeah, be
lineup.
careful. They don't like these young guys. I don't agree with that notion, though. The fact that older veteran guys got to get a day.
Right.
Again, if you're 7 days a week, if you're playing, 5 games, if you want to give them a day every 6th or 7th day, I'm okay. But Mason Wynn has sat for 2 games out of the 7 that they played, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
He sat 2, yeah.
He sat 2. And so he's not a player, in my opinion, and really none of these younger guys, especially him at this point, because he's the one that's hitting and playing great defense. So why you would sit him, I just don't understand. For no knock against Brandon Crawford, who I think is a great, again, I told you, he's always going to be one of my favorite players. Gave my son a baseball many years ago. Great guy.
Yeah.
But I don't need to see him at shortstop.
No.
2 of the 7 games, I need to see Mason Wynn playing every day because he is doing a fantastic job.
Carey, I'm not going to fight you on
I'm
this.
not talking to you, Anthony.
I feel like you are.
I'm talking to the people out there
All right.
that don't know what the hell is going on.
All right. I'm just so normally I don't look at the text line. I just saw something about Stalter wearing something.
I don't know what that is.
It's interesting.
What are you wearing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just looked over.
You just got to wear it, Anthony.
Yeesh. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We will return with our Bet the Board plays, our 3 stars of the day, our criticisms and compliments, all live from the Budweiser Brew House. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. couple of important thank yous before we sign off today here in the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. A couple of guys that had long days, and look, they love doing it. They love doing their job, but it is a long day for them. Bradford Bruns back in our 101 ESPN studios. Remarkable job. Couple of shows now, and he's got a lot to coordinate with us being on remote. So Bradford Bruns, excellent job as always. And our guy Doty Rallman, our engineer expert. He comes out, he sets everything up, he sets up the table, he sets up the mics, he sets up the cameras, and he's got to take it all down and back to the studios. Doty has been doing this for a very long time, and every time I see him, I appreciate you more and more, Doty. So great job, Doty. Absolutely. So our thank yous to Doty Rallman and Bradford Bruns. All right, boys. Fun day.
Oh, yeah.
It has been a fun
day. Thank you to the Budweiser Brewhouse, too, of course, in Ballpark Village. If you missed anything on our broadcast, including how our guy Andrew Marsh, a.k.a. the Prophet, called the Ivan Herrera home run before it happened, live right here at Ballpark Village.
It wouldn't have, it would have been cool, but since it was on air, it makes it that much cooler.
I haven't seen it yet. So our guy Travis Green, who used to work for us at 101 ESPN, a good friend of ours, I think he sent me the video of it, but I just haven't had an opportunity to watch it. So I'll check it out after the show. But, yeah, Marsh called it. But, anyways, if you missed that, download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com, your 101 ESPN mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. What do we got? Bet the board?
Yeah, bet the board.
Dudes, I am Kiefer struggling big time. I'm 0 for gopher, man. I know you rolled last night, didn't you?
Yeah, I won.
Somebody rolled.
I won the last 2 nights.
Marsh, you did.
I definitely did.
That was over Rockies, in like the 3rd inning.
Yeah, what did I pick yesterday, Marsh? I picked the hockey game, didn't I?
You did.
What did I pick?
Well, anyways,
what we
won.
won?
You won yours in like the 2nd inning. I think I lost mine, the Maple Leafs, in the 2nd period. It was awful. And I have been awful. I'm 0 for 3 here. So it hasn't been good.
I think I picked – didn't I pick I don't know who I picked. I think I won. I thought I picked the Canucks. Maybe.
You did. You did pick the
Yeah,
Canucks.
I thought so.
We'll figure it out
Coyotes.
tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
They won 2-1.
They won 2-1.
There you go.
Yeah, 2 in a row. All right. Who's
Anyways,
up?
I don't know who's up. I know I'm last. That's all I know.
So I'm 3-0 this month. So
Tell us how
you've been going good.
Yeah.
Good month of March with all of our
Mr. Prophet
birthdays.
here.
I know, right? He's just
tonight, I'm willing to lose, as I will take the National. No, actually, I've been doing really well lately.
I see.
In hope, but
Marsh, I got you.
Last month it would have worked. Right now we've been doing pretty good. So I'm actually going to. Well, I can't. I'm not going to do that. I was going to fade LA, but they're playing the San Jose Sharks.
Marsh, clean it up.
This is not good, gentlemen.
We gotta sign off at some point, Marsh.
All right, I'm going to go.
But not today.
But not today.
Tonight feels like a playoff game. I am going to stick with the Blues and Predators. I am going to go under 6 goals tonight. Under 6 goals.
Under 6 goals.
I think it's going to be a 3-2 game.
Well, you know where I'm going. Golden State, again, got to win. You got to win to get in, if I can. And they got to win.
Do they play? I feel like they play every night.
It's the NBA. They play pretty much every other night.
Yeah,
back to back.
Not everybody plays, though.
Not everybody plays. But they are playing the Houston Rockets, who are hot on their heels trying to get that 10th seed. So I'm going to go Golden State on the money line, -145.
All right. Does Jamie have a pick? If not, go ahead and pick one for him, Mark.
So Jamie, I think he is going to go ahead. He likes the Ottawa Senators a lot, but he also likes the Florida Panthers. I think Jamie would actually pick the Pittsburgh Penguins against the Washington Capitals. Those two teams are fighting for a final wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. And Sidney Crosby is Sidney Crosby. So, and Carey, you like the city of Pittsburgh. I think Jamie does tonight too.
There you go.
So, boys, all of this started because I went ahead and took the Oilers over 3.5 goals the other night, and they got destroyed by Binnington. So how about I go ahead and do what I do best right now?
You taking Jordan Binnington saves?
No, he's not.
No, it's almost a given.
I don't know what the Predators' team total is, but I'll just go ahead and take the team total over. How about that?
Okay.
I think it's 3.5. I'll get that for you.
All right.
Listen, I'll do what I do best here. and I
taking
will.
The Predators?
No, I'm taking the. Well, I can't because they're unfortunately too big of a favorite. But no, I'll take the team total over. All right.
1 minute.
So at the very least, they won't score a bunch. Go ahead, Marsh.
All right, is it time for our 3 stars of the day? Actually,
is.
real quick, we got a compliment from the 636, another great remote
3.5.
gentleman. 3.5.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Love the show. That's from Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
From Minnesota. And then it says see ya, which we'll get here to in a second. But let's get to our 3 stars of the day. 3rd star of the day, we're going to shout out Ivan Herrera and myself for tag teaming that
You
one.
should have been the 1st star.
It's all right. 2nd star, Doty, for being here for quite some
Doty.
time.
Doty.
And then shout out to Bradford Bruns, our 1st star of the day,
Absolutely.
for literally being in the studio all day long.
All
He's been
day.
doing a great job.
All
So,
day.
By
Nice job.
himself. That is tough.
oh, Mike Ryder's
Mike
there.
Ryder's
Yeah,
there.
Mike.
I'm sure they've been
He's
talking.
Been popping in and out. Absolutely. All right. So we thank you for watching on 101 ESPN.
10,
It's been a fun day, especially
9,
since the Cardinals started to turn things around here. So
7,
things have been very good. We got Blues
5,
hockey coming up.
4,
Pre-game coming up
3,
right now.
2,
We'll be back tomorrow too.
1.
See ya.